Welcome back, everybody. Big East Football Conference action coming your way from Morgantown, West Virginia. Scarlet Knights of Rutgers against the Mountaineers. Rutgers 0-4, 0-2 in the conference. Mountaineers 3-1 overall, 1-1. And the Big East. Weather conditions, marvelous. 75 degrees, winds out of the southwest, artificial turf, and the forecast is gorgeous. Let's go down to the third member of our broadcast crew, John Sanders.
All right, Dave, thank you very much. There were questions all this week about the status of Gary Stills. How much would he be able to play after suffering that severe injury to his thumb last week in Miami? He said right after the game, I'm going to play. He went into Nealon's office every day this week. You can see a special cast for number 55. The coaches have cleared him to play. The doctors have said he can play. How much? He told us yesterday he wants to play every single down this afternoon. Keep your eye out on number 55. David?
All right, thank you, John. Coin toss. We had that a few minutes ago. Rutgers won it and deferred. Nate Terry, Curtis Keaton deep to receive for the Mountaineers. Lee McDonald will kick it off for the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers. West Virginia has dominated this series. Last year, a big one, 55-14, and Amos Zeroway did not even put up good numbers, so look for him today. Try to bounce back. 50 or more points the last two games. McDonald gets us underway from Mountaineer Field. Nate Terry will keep it right there. Nice kickoff by McDonald, so a touchback. And the Mountaineers will put it in play from their own 20. Mark Bulger, sophomore quarterback. 678 yards, good TD to interception ratio. Wrecked Miami last week. Bulger going to bring that offensive unit out. And the Mountaineers will put it in play after having huddled on the sideline. Zeroway, the deep back, with Leroy White, the fullback. Fake it. Throw it outside to Foreman. And Foreman, the leading receiver for the Mountaineers, picks up a first down to the 32-yard line. Brady on the tackle, number 11. Backs and receivers, the Samuel Adams starting lineup. Sean Foreman, you just saw him in action. Outstanding receiver. That was his 28th catch of the season. Eric DeGros, solid center. Second-year starter, biology major, 4.0 grade point average. Second play of the game, this will come from the 32. Zeroway, maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Good job by the Rutgers ball club. Linebacker Brian Sheridan, number 43, in on the stop with some help from Roger Wingate. Chris Sabula, the left defensive end, had 6 sacks last year in 1996. National Honor Society in high school. Brian Sheridan coming off of multiple shoulder problems, but he is an outstanding player. And Thomas Kelly, good solid hitter. Coming out of the free safety spot, he's their most experienced defensive back. Zeroway lost a yard on that play. From the 32, Bulger. Screen, Zeroway sets up the block beautifully. 40, 45, 50, first down, West Virginia.
Great job by the West Virginia offensive coordinator, Dave Simmerell. We talked to him yesterday. His major concern, how many people were Rutgers going to play at the line of scrimmage to try and stop Zeroway? Often you hear, if you can run the ball, you can throw it. It goes on the flip side. If you're able to throw the ball, it loosens up the linebackers in the secondary and you're able to run. Watch for West Virginia to throw early and then go back to Zeroway.
Ball right at midfield for Mark Bulger and the Mountaineers. Just underway from Morgantown. Zeroway gets the call. Bounces it outside. Picks up 5 to the Rutgers 45-yard line. Roger Wingate takes a ride on his back. Number 44 for the tackle. Here's a look at Roger out of Hillside, New Jersey. Zeraway just racking up humongous numbers, and Dan Simrell, offensive coordinator, said, hey, I defy you to show me a better back in the country than
And I would have to agree with him. And you talked to the offensive line coach, Bill Legg, last week, 206 yards on the ground. He said the offensive line got him 100 of it. He got the other 106 on his own.
Second and short, and penalty flags all over. First time we get a look at our official, R.G. Deteller.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 5 yards, still second down.
So that will put the ball back at midfield. Don Nalen saying, hey, what's going on? Don, one of the best coaches in the nation. Done a fabulous job here at West Virginia. 3rd and 10 play, Bulger all day. Deep post pattern, got a man there. And it's a first down to Foreman. Inside the 20 to the 16-yard line. First down, West Virginia.
Offensive coaches cannot say enough about Mark Bulger. His improvement, this is his 5th career start, gets better every week, shows a little bit of touch. Sean Foreman, their leading receiver, simply gets behind the secondary. You're talking about a guy that stepped up big. David Saunders, their All-American preseason, injury, lost for the season, torn ACL. This guy has come up big.
He roasted Reggie Stevens on that play. From the 16 go the Mountaineers. First possession, Zeraway. Big hole up the middle, inside the 10 to about the 7-yard line.
We mentioned it earlier, if you're able to throw the ball, that loosens them up. This is a very talented offensive line. Great block, Pukanis, academic All-American. DeGrow, academic All-American. You're talking about a very physical, very big, intelligent group of offensive linemen.
Take care of those old linemen. How about Zeraway? Has picked it up considerably from a year ago at this time. Got 8 TDs, looking for more. He's the lone setback in his spread offensive formation. Ball at the 8-yard line. Gonna throw it, post pattern, man there, and right off the hands of Pat Green. Green on the slant was wide open.
And we were able to go through their walkthrough. This is a play they've worked on yesterday, Thursday, and good job by the secondary by Rutgers. You know, your back's against the walls, 3rd down and 2. What do? You come up and make a play. Quick slant, good job by Wingate taking away the inside.
Covering was Wingate and Norris Crawford. Bring up a 3rd and 2. Ball at the 8. Red zone numbers. Talk about productive. Zeraway gets a call. They had him bottled, and they maybe hold him to getting back to the line of scrimmage. Number 14 was there for Rutgers, Dante Siciliano. Crowd asking Don Nalen to go for it.
Great job by Rutgers up front, getting penetration. A big key with a running back like Zeraway, get him going east and west. Good job by pursuit. Rutgers getting him in 4th down and short.
Mountaineer Field holds about 63,000 and change. Probably 50 here today, and all the 50,000 coaches said go for it, and Don Nalen agrees. Zeraway straight up the gut, he didn't get it. Did not get it. What an emotional break for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Rutgers has held.
Huge play early in this football game. Woolridge, and you talk about getting to the football, number 43. When you see the football, defense with Rutgers, you talk about Brian Sheridan.
Brian Sheridan indeed. Rutgers with a big stop here on the Mountaineers in Morgantown. They'll take over from their own 8 when we get back to Morgantown. You expect more from a leader. Nissan, who reminds you that life is a journey. Enjoy the ride. And by Sam Adams, a better glass of beer. Gorgeous setting here in Morgantown, West Virginia for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. They couldn't have asked for a better defensive start. They stop West Virginia at the 8-yard line, and now Brendan Edmonds leads the Scarlet Knight offense out onto the field. His numbers from a couple of weeks ago against Boston College, not too bad. Parker in motion. From the fullback straight up the middle. That's It's Fauntleroy. Jeff, you had an interesting thought going into that first play from Terry Shea, given the offense, and we'll talk about that in a second. The Samuel Adams starting lineups for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. How about Walter King on the outside? He caught 2 TDs against Boston College a couple of weeks ago, one on a flanker option. Ben French, student of the game. He's an honor student also, and watch him on the sweeps, going to both sides. 2nd down, 5 for Edmonds. Throws it outside, good for first down yardage for Rutgers. Dorico Fletcher with the reception. So that's a first down for the Scarlet Knights. A look at the West Virginia defense. Bob Baum, heralded outside linebacker. They converted him to defensive end. He's out of Latrobe, Pennsylvania. Good rusher on the outside. Slay, Thornton, and Brady, good front. Damon Cogdell, he's got 1 interception. He's the leading tackler for the Mountaineers. And Barrett Green, a hard hitter. His father, Joe, played for Don Nehlen at Bowling Green. 1st and 10. Edmonds, sideline ball. Good cut. Crooks with the gain. Jackie Crooks up around the 30-yard line.
Complete to number 7, Jackie Crooks. To number 35.
You talk about a team in West Virginia. Talk to their defensive coordinator, Steve Dunlap. You're not going to run between the tackles. Slay, Thornton, Gary Stills, fabulous up front. They may be vulnerable in the secondary. Their secondary's inexperienced, have been burned early this season.
Got a lot of injuries back there too. Green had been guilty of a few personal fouls. They had to take him out of some games.
Boy, did that get the blood pressure of Steve Dunlap up yesterday?
Didn't take
about
much.
Those bad penalties.
Didn't take much, did it? Just remembering them. Gary Tompkins had a twisted ankle. About an inch to go for a first down for Rutgers. I mean, it doesn't get any tighter than that and not be a first down. Ball's at the 32.
You're talking about how important a win it was last week. West Virginia traveling down to Miami, beating the Hurricanes in the Orange Bowl. And you know what? I think if you talk to this coaching staff and the players, the one thing they came away with, we learned how to win the big game.
Yes, indeed. Don Nehlen. Old quarterback at Bowling Green. Here's a 2nd and very short for Rutgers. They had Harper in motion. First man through, first down and then some. That's Joe Diggs, senior out of Williamstown High School, Williamstown, New Jersey. First down, Rutgers.
Exactly how Rutgers would have wanted to start this football game. Great stand by their defense. Their offense is coming out, making first downs. We talk about the numbers. This Rutgers offense is only converting 21% of third downs. If they can keep that 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, they have a chance today.
Milk some clock, too. Terry Shea out of the University of Oregon. Play action. Edmonds, tight end, dropped the ball. It was wide open. Billy Woodward had it and could have made some big gain. He was wide open. Billy out of Wilson, North Carolina.
Big target, 6'7", 250. We talked about the broken thumb of Gary Stills. Look at the pressure on Edmonds. I'll tell you what a refreshing young man. Gary Stills, a compound dislocated thumb. Out there Monday, practicing. Tough guy.
Yes, indeed. From the 36, here's Edmonds overthrowing number 81, Andy Holland. So the Rutgers receivers are getting open.
The Rutgers receivers, and look at this cast. And I have to ask myself, if I'm Gary Stills, I've got one sleeve on, one sleeve off, and a huge cast. I tried this cast on yesterday. I don't think there's any way possible he hurts his thumb today.
Okay. What would you say it weighs?
I would say it weighs about a pound. It's very light.
Okay. It looks terribly unwieldy.
Can you imagine if he popped somebody in the head with it?
He may get 15 yards on it, I'll tell you that. Big third down for Rutgers. Rutgers not a good third down team at all. 21%. And not going to get it on this one either. As they run outside. Crooks on the carry. So that will leave them short and bring out Jared Slovan, one of the top punters in the conference. He's 3rd in the conference, averaging 43.3 a kick.
receiver, 28.
Let's look at Jarrett out of Tucson, Arizona. Not too many teams employ this 3 men in front of the punter formation. Nate Terry beat the receiver. Ooh, and a man got in cleanly. High, hanging, sailing punt down to the 8-yard line. Fair catch by Terry. That is a great punt by Slovan, covering 51 yards in this game of field position. Right now, Rutgers is winning that battle. West Virginia will take over from its own 8 when we return to Morgantown. Got a look at Steve Dunlap, the defensive coordinator for the West Virginia Mountaineers. His ball club right now in a scoreless tie with the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Let's take a look at the Amoco Big East leaders, brought to you by Amoco. You expect more from a leader. The numbers coming into today's action: Zeroaway, the leading rusher, McNabb, the leading passer, and Foreman and the top receiver. Those are updated numbers through today. Zeroaway, 5 rushes, 12 yards in that first possession for the Mountaineers. Bulger went 3 for 4 passing, 65 yards. And Foreman 2 catches for 47 yards. From the 8-yard line, go the Mountaineers. Foreman in motion. Bulger going to throw again. Looks for his 3rd man, and knocked off the ball is Chad Wable, the tight end. Good pop by Norris Crawford, number 2, the cornerback for Rutgers.
Number 2.
Short drop by Bulger, looking to throw the little out to Ivy. Great job on the corner of covering it. He goes to his second target. Big hit in the secondary. Wable not able to hold on to the football.
West Virginia 4-touchdown favorite in this game. At a 2nd and 10, just under 8 minutes to go. First quarter. Ivy in motion. Play action again. Bulger in trouble, throws back across the field, and that was dangerous. Intended for Ivy. And good coverage on the play by Dante Siciliano, but a penalty flag on the play, and it's against West Virginia, and it's a hold.
You know, West Virginia may be trying to outsmart themselves early. Their bread and butter is running the football. Great hit by Aaron Brady. Flag on the play. No quarterback likes to get hit like this, though. Great job of sticking your helmet right there.
Dan Simrell, the offensive coordinator for West Virginia.
Offense. Penalty refuse. 3rd down.
Got field position and downs in their favor for Rutgers. Don Nealon's club needs a big play. We're talking to Simrell yesterday. He says, we'll be all right if we don't get the skinny kid hurt.
The skinny kid. 195 pounds of skinny kid.
Went to Pittsburgh Central Catholic. There's Rad Sharpless.
They had a pretty good quarterback that went there before him, huh?
Guy named Marino. 3rd and 10 for the Mountaineers. Bulger. That time. Underneath, and it's broken up. He went to his tight end, Chad Wable, again, and a good defensive scheme by Rutgers. Wingate on the coverage for the Scarlet Knights, so a 3 and out for the Mountaineers.
Pressure is one thing of it, but if you're a quarterback and you're handling the football, your decision process has to be a little bit better than Bulger. Standing in the pocket all day long, throws across the field. Paul should have been intercepted.
Brian Bauman in to punt. High snap, gets it off. Pretty good kick. Reggie Stevens back to his own 45, breaks the first containment into West Virginia territory at the 39-yard line. So Rutgers offense is in business. A 52-yard punter return of 13 yards. Let's see what Rutgers has in store for us offensively as they take over from the West Virginia 39. As we continue from Morgantown, West Virginia. Battle of field position here at Morgantown. Rutgers takes over now after a 52-yard punt, a 13-yard return, in great shape at the West Virginia 39-yard line. Edmonds 2 of 4, 18 yards passing. He'll want to get busy right here. Crooks, nothing doing as he tries to go around the right end. In fact, he loses a yard. A bunch of folks there for the Mountaineers. Damon Cogdell among them. Other scores around the Big East. Pittsburgh and Temple, two improved ball clubs going on, battling in Philly. Miami, a huge underdog at Florida State. No score there. Miami of Ohio at Virginia Tech. We'll see Virginia Tech next week. East Carolina, Syracuse. That starts in a couple of minutes. And Penn State, Big Ten opener at Illinois. Michigan, Indiana, no score. Second down, 10, play action. Edmonds got a man open, and he completes it at the 30. That's Delrico Fletcher, and that is very close to a first down.
Complete to number 20, Fletcher.
You talk about Edmonds' poise, his experience, junior college transfer, sits in the pocket. Offensive line does a pretty good job protecting him. Late, they come with the blitz. Hanley, Lippy, you see him get there late. What that creates on the end, man-to-man coverage on the end. Quarterbacks do not like to sit here and get pounded like this. Makes for a long day. As long as you complete the pass, move the chains, he'll take those hits.
Steve Lippy was in there. Hadley was there. Again, Rutgers about 3 inches short of a first down this time. Last time they had the ball, they had a second down and 1 at the 32, and they picked up the first down running up the middle. So far, the Scarlet Knights 0 for 1 on third down situations. Third and a real short one. Steve Dunlap.
And you know, if you're a player, you've got to like those hand signals. You know, you wonder what all that stuff means. He's probably saying, hey, defensive lineman, get some penetration. Let's stop this third down.
From the 29, third and inches for Rutgers. Gonna throw it. Edmonds got a man deep corner, and he overthrows number 81, Andy Holland, who had double coverage. What'd you think of that call?
You know, it's obviously one of these situations where you're in a two-down situation. They're going to go for this thing. Third down and short. Why don't we try and air it out? And you're talking about pressure. This West Virginia defense can bring it. Handley again. I think if I were the offensive coordinator playing on the road, I would have tried to get the first down with the run.
And Edmonds picks it up. So things worked out nicely for the Scarlet Knights as they pick up that fourth down and very short. If you're Rutgers right now, a lot to be pleased about.
A lot to be pleased. And you know, West Virginia, they came into this game with two concerns. How would we play after a big win against Miami, facing a team that hasn't won and hasn't been impressive? Right now, they're a little bit flat.
From the 28-yard line, coming up on the 6-minute mark, first quarter, Crooks can't get outside. That West Virginia defense a year ago won the total defensive statistical category, national champions, if you will. It's a great lineup, and a lot of folks are back this year.
Great play by their All-American candidate, Henry Slay, your left tackle. Simply drives the right guard, Pete Donnelly into the backfield. You know what? If your defensive tackle does that, your linebackers love you.
Donnelly took a heck of a spill there. Lose a yard on the play, 2nd and 11. And the left guard moved, and Donnelly, check that was not Donnelly, that was Sean O'Hara. And he was moving before the snap, number 66.
Type of penalties that has a head coach.
False start. Offense. Still second down.
The only good thing for O'Hara, he wasn't the only one moving around. You know, he had other people that were just as guilty as he.
But when you get some momentum going, those are the kinds of plays that 0-4 teams make. They need to convert a big one here. 2nd and 16 from the 34. Fletcher in motion. Edmonds on the draw to Crooks. Nowhere to run. Loses the yard back to the 35. Outstanding penetration. Henry Slay, number 78, was there, and Damon Cogdell was also there. Glad to have you with us here for Big East football. Dave Sims and Jeff Bostic along with John Sanders. Mountaineer Field here in Morgantown, West Virginia. Under 5 to play, first quarter. Rutgers, a big underdog here, playing a battle of field position. And holding its own right now. 3rd and 17 for the 35. Edmonds, short drop, slant, man there, couldn't hold it. Chris Hutton, the intended receiver, number 83, out of Burlington, New Jersey.
And Dave, this is not the type of offense that's able to convert, 4th down, 3rd down and long. This is not that type of offense. They need to make yards on 1st and 2nd down. Come up with 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, something reasonable.
Rutgers again will go for it on 4th down. Converted a 4th and 1 a few minutes ago. This is a much bigger task. 4th and 17. West Virginia blitz. They pick it up. Edmonds flush, throws, incomplete. Mountaineers take over, but a penalty flag. A penalty flag thrown by the referee. Could be roughing the passer. Damon Cogdell was there. Number 1.
Goes out of bounds. Flag on the play.
Talk about a huge momentum changer. You've got the ball on your own 35-yard line with 4th and 17. Let's hear what the officials have to say.
We have an intentional grounding. Offense. 5 yards. Spotted a foul. Loss of down. 1st down.
I have to question Terry Shea's decision right here. 4th down and 17. You're a team that does not convert 3rd downs except 21% of the time. You're giving up field position. You could have punted the ball down to the 10 or 15-yard line, kept West Virginia going a long way. Right now they take possession at their own 49.
Why do I get the feeling we'll see some zero-way this possession? Last time he didn't touch the ball. Sure enough, here he goes, right side. Big hole, good cut. He could be gone. 20, 15, 10, out of bounds. 1st and goal, Mountaineers. Dax Strohmeyer finally knocked him out of bounds, and what a difference it makes when Amos has got the ball in his hands.
No question what the bread and butter for this West Virginia offense is. Starts with that big offensive line. Great job blocking up front. Look at the wide receiver, Corey Ivy. And you know what? This guy makes a lot of people miss. He is the best running back in the NCAA, bar none.
That was a fabulous cut he made. Coming up, this one right
He sets his blockers up greatly. Ivy down there, also Foreman. You're talking about a power pack, a guy that benches 450, squats 700.
And that is impressive when a guy carried about 5'8" frame.
You know what? The coaches were funny. They've got him listed at 5'9". They said he may be 5'7".
4:25 to go at this time out on the field. We asked Don Nalen yesterday to ask him his thoughts on what type of running back Amos Zerouay is.
Well, Amos is a money back. There's no question about it. You give him the ball enough, and you know, if the guys up front will do a little something, he's going to do his part, because he's a he's tough. He's got good speed. He's got God-given moves, and you put that all together, it gives you a pretty good back.
Pretty good. He's outstanding, and I tell you what, after that last West Virginia possession where they went 3 incomplete passes and then a punt, I mean, you just had to know he was going to get the ball.
Well, you know, there's 50,000 people in these stands, and they know exactly what the base of this offense is. Zerouay, Zerouay, Zerouay. And you know, the Rutgers, coaching staff and the defensive people, they know exactly what they have to stop. Make Mark Bolger beat you throwing the football.
West Virginia with second red zone threat. Mountaineers had a 4th and 2 at the 8 on the first possession and were turned away. Zerouay tried to go up the middle, and Rutgers stopped him.
Look at the arms on this guy. You're talking about a guy that is put together, power pack, quick. Yeah, I think he's having a fairly good year. 162 yards per game, 4th in the nation.
That'll work.
Best running back in the nation.
From the 8-yard line. Zerouay, they got a man wide open. Touchdown in the end zone for West Virginia. That's number 82, Anthony Becht. Was he open or what?
Obviously a blown coverage by the Rutgers defense. When you're able to run the ball, watch what a play fake to Zerouay will do. Look at the linebackers. Too late. Tight end behind him, Andy Becht. It's like stealing. That
drive was. Jay Taylor, extra point. Little pooch. Up and through. 4:21 to go. First quarter. And West Virginia took 2 plays to cover 49 yards, and it's all about Amos Zaraway. He went 43 on a run and then fake it to him and throw to Anthony Beck for the score.
This is one of the toughest balls to catch. You're wide open. No one's around you. Look at him cradle that football. And you know what? The tight ends for West Virginia have become more involved in the offense. Last week, Wable, his teammate, 3 catches. And you know what? For so many years, West Virginia's offense has been labeled as very conservative. They're opening it up.
Like you said before, with that play action, I mean, you absolutely have to come up respecting Zaraway, preferably put 8 men in the box, and then take your chances. Make sure you join us next week for more Big East football action. 12 noon, we'll bring you the action from Blacksburg, Virginia. The Eagles of Boston College paying a visit to the Hokies of Virginia Tech. Check your local listings. That should be a real good game. This Big East football conference is wide open, with Syracuse and Miami struggling this year. Miami 0-2.
And I still have to question the decision of Rutgers head coach Terry Shea. 4th down and 17 from your own 35. Punt the ball down and deep and make West Virginia go the long distance. Don't give them the ball at the 49.
2 plays. High pooch kick taken at the 20-yard line by one of the upbacks, who does a good job to get it up to the 38-yard line. That was Cliff Hunt. Scoring drive didn't take much time, did it? 15 seconds, 2 plays, 51 yards. I think Terry Shea may be second-guessing himself big time right now.
And what this Zaraway ran, this crowd was nice and quiet. Zaraway got the crowd back into it. Now Rutgers has to take back control and quieten this crowd down.
They'll begin from their own 39. Crooks. Oh, you're not going to be able to run today. Absolutely not going to be able to run today. Crooks never had a chance. Steve Lipp was there, as well as Gary Stills. Gary Stills is charged up.
And you're talking about a guy that has a God-given great body, chiseled out of stone, 6'3", 235 pounds. Folks, you're looking at the next Lawrence Taylor. There aren't any Lawrence Taylors. There's only one. This is the next best thing.
Tell you what, that's a rave, because I know you had to try to put your hat on.
I had to see him for 13 years.
2nd down, 13 from the 36. Play action. Check that, Crooks, and again, cannot run on West Virginia. The Mountaineers this year giving up just 192 yards per game on the run. That's 26th in the country.
And it starts up front. Forbes with a great job. Look at the pursuit and look at the people getting to the football. That's what defensive football is about. Getting to the ball, putting your hat on it.
Crooks, 6 rushes, -1 yard. I tell you what, this could be the ball game right here, because the emotional letdown that Rutgers could go through getting stuffed here. And after that controversial call. Edmonds throws, and that will not nearly be close to a first down. He got only up to the 39-yard line. That pass to number 81, that's Andy Holland. So that was not a good drive by Rutgers. Matter of fact, it drove backwards.
But you have to credit that West Virginia defense. Attacking the football, getting after the quarterback, and their big thing, you're not going to run the football on us, period.
Well, they've definitely established that. Sloven nailed a 52-yard punt his first time out. Good snap that time. And then another beauty. From the 12-yard line goes Terry. He's got room. 40, 50. One man to beat. Sloven got a piece and brings him out of bounds at the Rutgers 35-yard line. Jared Sloven, the punter, saved the touchdown. Nate Terry with a beauty.
Nate Terry, probably the best athlete on this football team. You're talking about something that saved a touchdown for Rutgers. It is not easy to take an athlete of this quality in the open field for a punter and make a tackle. He's the only one to beat. And you know what? You know when Terry goes to the sideline, some of the teammates are going to be going, hey, Nate, you can't beat a punter?
He'll catch it.
And look at him. You know, it's just like he's been sitting in the defensive meetings. You know, get a good base, run him to the sideline, make the tackle. Great job by your punter.
49-yard punt, 54 yards on the return. The tight end move to Anthony Becht for West Virginia. Let's throw it downstairs to John Sanders. What do you have, John?
Well, we're going to have a very special visitor here. Jeff Bostic caught up with him yesterday, as a matter of fact. NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue is here. He spoke to the Mountaineer team, had a chance to speak to our Jeff Bostic yesterday. This is the only college that he will visit. Part of homecoming weekend he was here. Oliver Luck, who is also the general manager of the World League of American Football, is also in town. As a matter of fact, on Friday, he was inducted into the West Virginia Hall of Fame. Back to you guys.
All right. Thank you, John. 5-yard penalty against West Virginia. He had movement on the offensive line. Bulger. Quick pop outside to Corey Ivy. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
Stop on the play made by number 43, Brian Sheridan.
Gets the ball back to the 35 for Mark Bulger and company. Impressive during the spring drills for Don Nalen and company.
Got his first start last week. And you know what? You looked at those kids last night in that West Virginia meeting when Mr. Tagliabue was in there. Their eyes looked like silver dollars.
Oh, yeah. I want to work for that guy. I want to work in his league. Here's Bulger. Got a lot of guys to choose from. Finds his tight end. Becht inside the 10 to the 6. Anthony Becht was wide open. First and goal, West Virginia.
We talked about the involvement of the tight ends. It starts with play action. When you've got a guy like Zaraway in your backfield, look at the offensive line. They're carrying out the fake. Bulger rolling to his right. Easy pass for this guy. Becht gets behind the linebackers. And you know what? We talked about that continued involvement. You got Sean Foreman leading the Big East in receiving. They're spreading the ball around.
Zaraway, the deep back. Leroy White, the up back. Corey Ivy in motion on this first and goal. Zaraway got tripped up in the backfield. A good force. Rutgers got a nice play in that backfield. Terrell Freeney was there, number 46, to trip him up.
You're talking about bringing somebody down by their shoestring. Great job by Freeney. Gets knocked off of his feet. Look at this. True freshman. Great job of stopping a quality running back.
Nicely done. Lose a yard, back to the 6, so second and goal, or from the 7 rather. Zaraway, the lone setback. They'll get the call, cut it back. Touchdown, West Virginia.
Touchdown, West Virginia. The Zaraway scores from 7 yards out.
You wonder how a guy like Zaraway's rushing for 162. Look at the hole. Offensive lineman, Eric DeGros, the center. Great job. Pukanis, the right guard, probably their best offensive lineman. Open a huge hole. This guy doesn't need a big hole.
Sure doesn't. Taylor's extra point is good. West Virginia 14-0 over Rutgers. That scoring drive set up nicely by the big punt return by Nate Terry.
No one touches him 5 yards downfield. Great job by the offensive line. You know what? He's over there complimenting the guy. Look, he's going to find the offensive line.
I got dinner tonight.
Special young man right there, and only a sophomore.
Which is amazing. Mountaineers staff said that they found him late in the signing appearance and nobody was recruiting him. They had seen him in a couple of films and contacted him, talked to him, had him out here. Boom, they signed him and got a superstar in their hands here in West Virginia.
And you know, this game meant something to him. Last year he was shut down by this Rutgers defense. 19 carries, 49 yards. You know, he had a really a big bone to pick with this defense. He wanted to really run up some numbers. Thus far, he's been very impressive.
So a couple of big plays. Rutgers going for it on a 4th and 17. They don't get it. Leads to a field position and a quick score by the Mountaineers, and then a 54-yard punt return leads to another one. Here's the kickoff return by Delrico Fletcher. Gets it across the 20. And let's see what the Rutgers offense can do now, down by 2 touches. First quarter complete here at Morgantown. And Don Neyland's ball club enjoying a 14-0 lead. We'll continue with the Big East Football Conference Game of the Week right after this. Welcome back, everybody. West Virginia leading Rutgers 14-0. We're about to start second quarter action. But first, let's go to John Sanders on the field.
Dave, I know everybody's noticed how nice this field looks on television. Believe you me, it should, because it's all brand new AstroTurf, just installed this season. This is only the third game on this surface. It's terrific. The one thing that you can count on, though, there are going to be a lot of guys in both locker rooms after the game with some rather serious burns from this rug. Back to you.
Yeah, that stuff does sort of sting. Rutgers needs a score. They need a drive. Crooks trying to create. Nice little run. Gets it up to about the 28-yard line. Jackie Crooks picks up 6.
You don't want to say in the first minutes of the second quarter that this is a critical drive, but this is a critical drive.
I agree. The numbers to this point, West Virginia, big, big, and big. 168 total, 5 first downs. And the possession 10-01 to 4-5 Niner. Second and 3. Edmonds going to throw. Down he goes. Loose ball. That ball's free. Somebody can pick it up. And they're going to say no. R.G. Tiller says no. Overrules the fumble. John Thornton was there to create it.
The officials are in some little heated argument right now.
I thought it was a fumble.
Looked like a fumble from our viewpoint. You know what this crowd, predominantly dressed in blue and yellow, thinks. Edmonds rolling the pocket. Pressure, pressure, right there.
Fumble.
Definitely a fumble. I bet this call will be overruled.
Because I think the linesman had it all away, and I think he's selling it to the official. To the referee, R.G. Tiller. The linesman is Matt Fitzgerald. Kevin Landau. Be interesting to see how this comes out, because that replay clearly showed a fumble.
We have an inadvertent whistle on the field. The play is ruled a fumble. The defense picked up the ball before the whistle was blown. The ball is returned to the spot where the defense picked up the ball. First down.
I'll tell you what, that shows a real professional there. He listened to the logic of the explanation by Matt Fitzgerald, and here's how the play happened.
Obviously a fumble, and that's why you have so many officials at a game. The ball is clearly free. I don't know what the head umpire is looking at. Ball is on the ground, and you know what? That's the good thing about having a big crew. 6, 7 officials at they get a different vantage point. They make the right call.
And what happened to Tiller was behind the play, so he may have thought he saw forward movement with the arm, whereas Matt Fitzgerald saw it and clearly saw that it was a fumble. And R.G. Tiller explaining now to Terry Shea, and you were right on the money a couple of seconds ago when you said this is a big possession, because we're looking at blowout city right here.
Tell you what, this reversal call made about 55,000 Mountaineer fans happy.
Yes, indeed. Ready for action? Early stages, second quarter. Mountaineers lead it 14-0. Spread formation with zero in the deep back. Pump and go. Got a man over the middle, throw it to the tight end. Check that to Foreman, who delayed and came over the middle. And he's down to the 16-yard line.
Sean Foreman, you talk about a guy that this coaching staff loves. Great worker. Said he'll stay out on the field as long as you want to. Big guy. I was amazed. His hands are bigger than mine. This is a big-time guy. You know, you look at the back of his helmet. It's got his number 16. It's also got number 6.
David Saunders, who is not with the ball club, suffered an injury in training camp back in August, and all he did was be the top receiver in the Big East Conference last year. Bulger throwing slant pattern, knocked away. Good defense On that play for Rutgers, number 22, Riley Jefferson. Pat Green, the intended receiver.
Riley Jefferson is a true freshman. Super Prep Magazine Northeast Defensive Player of the Year from New Jersey. And you know what? You can see this with Terry Shea starting to bring in more and more of these young players. Obviously 0-4 right now. Tough schedule ahead. We're not playing for 1997. We're playing for down the road.
Terry Shea's defensive unit in a 3rd and 6 situation, trying to stop a West Virginia club that's hot. 14-0 Mountaineers. Ivy in motion. Mosley got time. Blitz, down he goes. Oh, he never saw him. Roger Wingate he got a linebacker's dream, a free shot.
Talked about getting the skinny kid hit, getting him hurt. This is a chance right here. Wingate, you're talking about giving him a Rydell to the chest. Great job. You got to like this Rutgers team. You know, they've had problems all season long. There's no quit in this football team. That's a big part due to their head coach. Very positive individual.
40-yard attempt by Jay Taylor. He's 2 for 4 on the season. Kick is good. So timeout on the field. 12:54 to go, second quarter. It's West Virginia leading Rutgers 17-0 on the 40-yard field goal by Jay Taylor. Back to Morgantown right after these words. Terry Shea with his quarterback Brendan Edmonds down 17-0 here. 12:54 to go, second quarter. Dave Sims, Jeff Bostic, and John Sanders with you from Morgantown, West Virginia on a glorious day for football. Glorious day for anything, but particularly for football here in the great Mountain State. Taylor set to kick off. The punt return has been a killer for the Rutgers. Missing a 4th and 17 has been a killer, led to those 2 decisions, backfired, led to 14 points. And then a fumble has set up the field goal by that man Taylor. High and short kick. Taken by Fletcher. Fights his way to the 30-yard line. Rutgers Scarlet Knights down 17-0. Still plenty of time to go. We talked to Terry Shea, the coach, about what they have to do to win against West Virginia.
We're going to have to force West Virginia to beat us with the pass, and if we can at least accomplish that, that'll give us a fighting chance on defense. Secondly, I really believe our offense has to get the ball to our wide receivers because they're the guys who make touchdowns for us, and I think that's our best chance on offense.
See if they try to implement that strategy right now from the 30-yard line. Edmonds, Harper. Got bottled up and then breaks free. 35, 36-yard line, and Baum. Ooh, there could be a flag there. As Baum threw him into the bench.
You talk about a quick pass. Harper, you know, it's kind of a mystery. 1995, the guy had 7 touchdowns. Last year, none, and thus far this season, no touchdowns. 4.3640. You're talking about a guy with some jets. You're not going to run the ball on him. You might as well throw it.
Picked up 7 on that play. They'll go from the 37. Diggs and Crooks in the backfield. They give it inside to Crooks, and he's gone nowhere. Bob Baum got him around the waist and said, "Come here, big fella."
And you know, if you're going to run the football at West Virginia, it has to be a quick opener. This is a play that takes a long time. Crooks trying to follow Como. Bob Baum comes underneath the block. Look at the helmets getting to the football. This team is coached, disciplined, find the football.
Loss of 4 on that play. Bring up a big 3rd down and 7. Under 12 to play. Rutgers in a 17-0 hole. Edmonds standing in. Ball was tipped. Incomplete. Tried to get it to number 81, Andy Holland. So the Scarlet Knights now 0 for 5 on 3rd down conversions.
It's amazing when you start creating habits early in the season. This has been a team that has been terrible on third down. That problem still still exists. 21% on third downs for 1997.
Jared Slovan back to punt. 2 punts, average 50 yards. First one went inside the 20. Drives this one. Terry calling for a fair catch and makes it at the 20-yard line. Got a timeout on the field, 11:39 to go. It's West Virginia leading Rutgers 17-0 in the Big East Football Conference Game of the Week. Homecoming weekend here at Morgantown, West Virginia. Mountaineers enjoying a 17-0 lead over Rutgers. Take a look at some out-of-town scores from around the world of college football. That improved Temple team over the improved Pittsburgh team, 7-3 in Philly. Florida State, huge favorite at home against Miami, already with a lead. Virginia Tech, we'll see the Hokies next week, leading Miami of Ohio. Syracuse trying to bounce back as we start the month of October. Penn State in the Big Ten opener. Michigan early on Indiana. 1st and 10 for Matt Bolger and the Mountaineers from the 20. Zeraway to the corner in a hurry. First down yardage. Boy, that didn't take much. Up to the 32-yard line. Good blocking by that offensive line, and he gets to that point of attack in a heartbeat, doesn't he? Other scores in the Southeast Conference. Auburn trailing South Carolina. And out in the Big Ten, Minnesota and Michigan State scoreless. Zeraway's carry out to the 34-yard line. Picked up 14 on that play. Call it 13. He's got 9 carries, 74 yards. And more. Great cutback. What a cutback as a good-looking 9-yard run. Amos Zeraway.
There are a lot of things you do not coach. You cannot coach cutting ability, and this guy has great vision. His fullback, Leroy Wright, goes back to the, I'm not going to follow you, Leroy. I'm going to go my own way. This guy is special. Quick, can cut, powerful. He has it all. He's a total package.
10 carries, 83 yards, and a touchdown for Amos Zeraway. Bolger's numbers are not bad either. 7 for 12, a buck 11, and 1 score. White in motion. Bolger, home run ball. He's got a man there. It's Ivy. 10-5, touchdown West Virginia.
When you can run the football, you can throw the football. Bolger, and then only his 5th start, simply gets back, drops it right down. You know, you got a freshman. Freeney, that's who you're going to pick on. Corey Ivy gets behind him, 7 points.
Taylor's extra point, put it on the board. 24-0 West Virginia. 57 yards on the TD. Ivy with 2 catches for 62 yards. It's a happy homecoming here in the Mountain State. Mountaineers lead at 24-0 over Rutgers. We'll return in a couple. Second quarter action continues for Morgantown. West Virginia leading 24-0. Corey Ivy, 57 yards on the score from Matt Bolger. That's where we are right now. 3 plays, 79 yards. Only a buck 15 off the clock. The Taylor kick sends Fletcher 2 yards deep. He'll keep it right there. Task at hand for Rutgers, Jeff Bostic. What do you do now? You're getting hammered 24-0. A lot of time left second quarter, so what's your plan of attack now?
I think what you do if you're Rutgers, you continue to short drops, controlled passes. Don't panic. You know, you've got a quarterback in there making a second start. I wouldn't be surprised a couple series from now to see, you know, really Rutgers' future quarterback, Mike McMahon, get him some playing time. This is a team that came into this game huge underdogs, and West Virginia hasn't disappointed them.
2 Keeper in motion. Give it up front. There's just no running on this team. Joe Diggs barely got the handoff, and he got hammered.
Steve Dunlap told us yesterday, you will not run between our tackles. This is Forbes, the backup. Slay Thornton over there getting a breather right now. You know, it's all about a scheme. This is a defense that attacks the football. They have some vulnerable places in the secondary, but you're not going to run the football all day on them.
They've proven that. Second down play for Rutgers. Edmonds going to throw, and he completes it. Gets it to Fletcher. He's run out of bounds at the 25-yard line, so that's a 5-yard pickup. That'll set up a 3rd and 5. Dave Sims, Jeff Bostic, John Sanders, and the Big East crew. Our journey has taken us to Morgantown, West Virginia this week. And right now, the Mountaineers very much in the thick of the race in the Big East Conference, coming off the win last week against Miami. Pounding Rutgers here, 24-zip second quarter. 3rd and 5. That's amazing here. Backside, they pick up the blitz. Edmond throws it. It's dropped by Diggs, and he pays another price by getting drilled by Damon Cogdell. So another 3 and out for Rutgers, and their body language not real good right now.
And you're worried about this West Virginia team coming out flat. Big win at Miami. You know, how are they going to respond? I think when you talk to this coaching staff, they learned how to win last week. Big win on the road. Probably the biggest win they've had on the road since 1993.
28-17. Jaraway, couple of scores. Slovan, racking up big numbers as a punter. Good high sailing kick. Terry back. Lets it bounce. It takes a West Virginia bounce back upfield. And finally down at the 41-yard line. It was down by Gil Ross, number 19. 9:21 to go, second quarter. West Virginia here at homecoming in Morgantown leads it 24-0 over Rutgers. Second quarter. And make sure to get inside the huddle of your favorite Big East team. Go online at www.bigeast.org for all the football and conference news from around the Big East. West Virginia put it in play from its 41-yard line. Little miscue, loose ball. I think Rutgers may have gotten it. Rutgers takes over on the fumble by Matt Bulger.
I think you're going to see Aaron Brady recover this fumble. Little collision in the backfield. Bulger, Leroy White, ball's on the ground. You know, that football's an odd shape. It's rolling around. Brady gets on top of it. Big play for Rutgers.
Bulger with Mark Bulger with the fumble. So Rutgers will take over at the West Virginia 40. Play action, Edmonds. Trying to go downtown, contact, and it's picked off. Gonna be brought back. And he's got one man to beat. All the way back goes number 33, Barrett Green. What a play. Barrett Green with a terrific interception return on the ball that was overthrown and went right to him.
Barrett Green is a guy that has been in the doghouse of Steve Dunlap. 5 personal foul penalties. It starts with pressure. Ooh. Number 55, Gary Steele, all in the face of Edmonds. You know, Barrett Green simply playing center field. You know what? This guy may be a pretty good running back. Great job of returning this thing. And you know what? He's ran this far. You know, I think I can get all the way in the end zone. I can make it. Yes. You know, right now, he is exhausted.
83 yards. And you know what? When he was stepping out of that one tackle, I think he may have pulled a groin muscle or a hammy. Nonetheless, West Virginia has the ball at the Rutgers 12-yard line. That pass by Edmonds was trying to go to Harper, and Harper, he and the defensive back collided, and that's what I was looking at, and I didn't realize the ball was so poorly overthrown.
Brendan Edmonds never saw this ball. Gary Stills, you know what, when you're going to play football, when you're going to play offense, you better find a way to block number 55. You know, ball simply thrown up for grabs. You see the contact, Harper, you know, throw and catch. Unfortunately, the throw was from Rutgers, the catch was from West Virginia.
And right there, I think maybe is where he might have pulled the groin muscle, but he did a terrific job. West Virginia in outstanding shape right now from the 12-yard line. It's not a groin, it very well could be a hip pointer for Barrett Green from the 12-yard line. Ivy in motion. Give it to Zeraway, breaks a tackle, got room inside the 10 to about the 5. Thomas Kelly brings him down, number 21.
Thomas Kelly brings him down. Wayne Hampton, the defensive end for Rutgers, back in the backfield. We talked about the power of Zeraway. This is a little counter. Looks like the old counter tray. I've seen that play before. You know what? Zeraway bounces off the defensive end. Doesn't even break stride.
2nd and 3, the ball at the 5-yard line.
Call it a gain of 7.
You see the numbers for the season, 263 yards per game. West Virginia University already racked up 174.
Rutgers has called a timeout. Brian Sheridan going over to the sideline.
With its second call timeout.
Second timeout of the first half for Rutgers. Next week, join us for more Big East football action. 12 noon is the start time from Blacksburg, Virginia. The Eagles of Boston College taking on the Hokies of Virginia Tech. Ken Oxendine for the Hokies, Matt Hasselbeck for the BC Eagles. 12 noon start. Check your local listings for that game.
That's going to be a pretty good one there, ladies and gentlemen.
Boston College 2-1 right now, and let's get an update on the injury from John Sanders. John?
Just talked to the trainers. They said the injury is kind of a re-aggravation of a groin injury that he's had throughout the year. So it's a problem that has flared up from time to time. It happened again on that long run. He probably will return, David.
Barrett Green, boy, tough guy. But they may not need him. It's up, West Virginia up 24-0, going for more right now. Rutgers having called a timeout.
You know, you talk about this West Virginia team learning how to win. You know, the same is true on the other side of the football. Rutgers, a team that has struggled. You know what? Losing can become just as contagious as winning. You get used to it and you say, oh, bad things are going to happen to our football team. This is when they need somebody to stand up and be their leader.
Sheridan, number 43, is one of the better ones on that unit. See what he can do to inspire his mates. They run a blitz. Bulger flushed out, throwing in the end zone, intercepted. Intercepted. Nice play by Aaron Brady, number 11. Stuck the left hand out, one-handed interception, and Rutgers will take over.
When you talk about the two shining stars in this Rutgers defense, Brian Sheridan obviously leading the Big East in tackles. His running mate, the other inside linebacker, the ball is tipped. You're talking about athleticism. 220-pound linebacker, both feet in, great interception, big play for this Rutgers defense.
So we've had a succession of turnovers here. Bulger with a fumble. Green an interception to get it back for West Virginia. Brady an interception for Rutgers.
That's the old Oski, the tip drill. Aaron Brady started at Rutgers as a defensive back.
Try to run up the middle, about 3 yards. One of the better gains on the day. Crooks on the carry. And they insist on trying to run up the middle on West Virginia.
Well, you know what? You're either the hammer or the nail. And right now, West Virginia has been the hammer. They've been nailing Rutgers. Starts with those two tackles. John Thornton, Henry Slay. You know, John Thornton is huge. I stood beside him yesterday and I realized why I quit playing football.
Funny you mentioned the hammer there. Somebody's thinking along with you. 7 and 6. Crooks, maybe to the 9. Number 78, Henry Slay was there. Bob Baum was there too.
You're talking about a tough guy. You know, I don't know of anybody that, you know, has ever had I've broken a couple of my fingers. I broke my thumb, but a compound dislocated thumb, bone protruding through the skin, has surgery, is out practicing on Monday. I don't know that he's came out of the game. He told us yesterday he was going to play.
Neither side has converted a 3rd down, and Rutgers won't convert that one either. Billy Woodward, his 2nd drop of the day.
You can start to see a little bit of frustration in the Rutgers offense. Unable to convert the 3rd downs, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out again. And you know what? That affects your defense. Your defense has been on the field the entire first half. So it's like, you know, if your offense doesn't perform, your defense is stuck back on the field, and they're stuck. Rutgers defense has gotten them the ball several times.
Yes, indeed. Slovan from the middle of his end zone. Terry deep to receive at the Rutgers 48. West Virginia going for the return. Low line drive, returnable kick. Terry beats the first man. Wall to his left. It's there. 30, 20. Out of bounds. He stepped out of bounds at the 22-yard line, but boy, did they have that wall set up.
Nate Terry, the junior college transfer from Merced Junior College. 6'3", 180-pounder. You're talking about a guy that's got some jets. You wonder why they were so excited to get him in the starting lineup. Guy is an athlete. 2nd big punt return on the day.
Yes, indeed. Had a 51-yarder before. Ball's at the 22-yard line of Rutgers. 40-yard punt, 28 yards on the return. Zaraway making people miss. Good-looking run as he gets up to the 15. It's amazing how he makes that live.
He has a way of shaking and baking, making people miss. You talk about the leading tackler, Sheridan, Eric DeGros. You're talking about a drive block, folks. Great job of staying with him. Bill Legg, the interior offensive line coach for West Virginia, said he is the most disciplined young man he's ever seen.
5-yard pickup for Zaraway. Ivy in motion. He's got a touchdown pass already. Bulger gonna roll it back to the other side. The tight end Beck is there. Stops at the 5. He's inside the 5 to the 2. 1st and goal, West Virginia. Stopped by Wayne Hampton.
Impressive job by this West Virginia offense. Spreading the football around. Obviously, Zaraway, the main man. They're becoming more comfortable with Mark Bulger. Rolling the pocket. Beck's 3rd catch on the day. The tight end's becoming more and more involved. Puts a lot more pressure on the defense.
Mountaineers up 24-zip. 5:36 and counting here in the 2nd quarter. Bulger rolling, got room. He's in, touchdown, West Virginia.
The young quarterback, the Dan Semmerell calls the skinny kid. Shows he can run also. Gets into the end zone. Mobile, quiet, confident, improving every week. He's going to be a good quarterback before he leaves West Virginia University.
Mountaineers are forced to be dealt with here in the Big East this year. Taylor's extra point is good. 31-0 West Virginia. That off the 28-yard punt return by Terry. Rutgers a 3 and out. West Virginia's in great shape as we look at the alumni band. Prior to today's kickoff, here's what the Big East standings look like. Virginia Tech hit Boston College in West Virginia. And then 2nd division bringing up is Temple, Syracuse, Miami, and Rutgers.
And who would have ever thought Syracuse and Miami to have a combined record of 3-6?
One date you want to circle on your calendar. October 25, Virginia Tech at West Virginia. And oh, by the way, not a ticket is available here from Mountaineer Field.
You're talking about two defenses that will get after the football. Be here in 3 weeks, you'll see it.
Taylor's kickoff to Delrico Fletcher at the 5. Wedge busted, did his job. Number 18 for West Virginia, Kenny Fisher, a wide receiver, got down there and broke up the wedge and got a piece of the returner. Pitt has rallied to take a 10-7 lead on Temple. Miami still holding Florida State at 13-zip. Miami have Ohio and Virginia Tech, nothing there. Syracuse trying to have a much better October than they did September. Penn State over Illinois. Michigan, number 6 in the country. South Carolina leading number 9 Auburn, and Michigan State, Minnesota, no score. Tried the middle again. Crooks barely got back to the line of scrimmage.
You know, the success of a running back is based on the guys up front. Right now, Rutgers' offensive line is getting no movement. They're knocking nobody off of the line of scrimmage. On the other side of it, you know, you look at West Virginia. We talked about Pucanis. You talk about Eric DeGros. You talk about Ford. You talk about, you know, their offensive line is moving people. That's where it starts.
Second down and 9. It's a play that they tried last week. Harper trying to turn the corner, not going to get it done. Number 19, that's Boo Sensabaugh. And Bulger and company took 3 plays, 21 yards, just 75 seconds. Second time they've had a 75-second drive. Bulger has been impressive.
You know, Bulger looks like he's all of about 15 years old.
Yeah, right?
You think anything bothers this kid?
I really don't think so. He has been very poised. Penalty flag. Stops this play before it gets started.
Prior to the snap, illegal substitution, defense, 5 yards. Still third down.
Steve Dunlop and company, not a real happy guy.
Yeah, they gave it a big thumbs down, and we don't like that call.
Move the ball up to the 25-yard line. So they have to get to the 29. So third down 4 for Terry Shea's group. Trailing 31-0 here in latter stages of the second quarter. Edmonds sprint out, throws, and that's not going to be a first down. Got it to Holland. But Sensabaugh keeps him from getting the first down.
This is a poor route by Holland. When you're the wide receiver and it's third down and 4, you need to know where the chains are. Get past it. Run to the 30-yard line. Edmonds is throwing to you. You can see he's at the 28. Knew where the sticks were. Bad route.
Bring up a 4th and 1. Jared Slovin has had a busy first half. This will be his 6th punt. And Terry has been also very busy returning. He's racking up a lot of yardage in punt returns. One for 54, another for 28. They had returned to Terry's left to the bottom of your screen last time out. Slovin. This time Terry calls for a fair catch and makes it at the 37-yard line. Down to the sideline now, John Sanders.
You know, the fact that a couple of those punts by Slovin have been returned for long distances is unusual, David, because almost half of the punts that he has kicked in his career result in that, either a fair catch at the 20 or possibly inside the 10. That's the kind of job he's done. Unfortunately, as you said, he's been out there way too much this afternoon. He's an outstanding young man academically and is going to enroll in dental school next year. David?
Thank you, John. 31-0 West Virginia as Barrett Green going in for some medical attention from the fine West Virginia staff. and an 83-yard interception return that set up a field goal a few minutes ago. Bulger and the offense, quite possibly the last time for these first stringers. And he gets it out to Chris Asageda, his first catch of the afternoon. Dave Sims, Jeff Bostic, and John Sanders with you from Mountaineer Field in Morgantown, West Virginia. Our Big East Football Conference game of the week, and it's been all West Virginia here today. Homecoming here in Morgantown, fabulous setting. The weather has been just outstanding.
Unless you're standing on the Rutgers sideline, then it's been raining. It's been raining West Virginia.
Yes, it has. Mark Bulger's had a fine day. Going for more. Screen and dropped. Corey Ivy had all kinds of friends available to block for him, and he dropped the ball.
It's one of those opportunities where, you know, the running back can see, oh gosh, I got a big open field. Oh, I forgot the football. Let's catch the football first.
Correction, that was Chris Keaton, a backup tailback, and missed an opportunity there. Mark Bulger, those are impressive. Curtis Keaton, he is the deep back. Zeraway getting a blow right now. Keaton trying to turn the corner, about a yard shy of a first down. Curtis Keaton, out of Columbus, Ohio, a junior, 5'10", 200 pounds. Call him a good worker, pure runner. One that won the '97 Iron Mountaineer Award as a top performer in a winter workout program.
How would you like to be a sophomore tailback stuck behind Amos Zeraway?
Yeah, fate has not been kind in that regard. Bauman into punt. And whistles on the field. Rutgers calls its final timeout. I think they were short a man.
Rutgers with a call timeout. Charged Rutgers with his third and final timeout.
Rutgers was short a man on their punt return team. So there goes their final timeout of the first half with 1:52 to go. John Sanders, what do we have coming up here at halftime?
Well, David, we have the National Car Rental Halftime Report coming up. We'll have scores and highlights of this game, of course, scores from around the Big East, some of those that you have been following, and a look at this outstanding West Virginia defense that's on display today, especially that man in the middle, Henry Slay, and the job that he has done. Also preview some of the big games coming up across the country in our National Notebook. That's all coming up shortly right here on the National Car Rental Halftime Report. David.
All right, thank you, John. The West Virginia defense has been just outstanding. 16 rushes, 11 yards for Rutgers. That is amazing. And 280 over 58, under 58. Pretty much tells the story.
It's one of those days where all three aspects of the West Virginia football team, the offense, defense, and special teams, have performed excellently.
Bauman put on a heavy rush. He gets it off. Line drive. Fair catch by Siciliano at the 10, plus a penalty flag, as he was interfered with by number 4, that's Charles Fisher. .43 yards on the Bauman punt. R.G. Jatiller, the referee. The story of 2 flags on this play, one upfield and one downfield. Here's the story. And both against West Virginia.
The penalty by Charles Fisher. You know, he called fair catch, trying to strip the football. You know, you're running 40 yards and you figure, I've run that far, I need to hit somebody. Well,
we have 2 fouls on the play. We have holding offense. We have interference, 2-yard belt, offense. That penalty is refused. We'll accept the 10-yard penalty, spot of the foul, 10 yards, replay 4th down.
Good, clean, crisp interpretation and explanation of the rules by R.G. DeTiller. So Bauman standing at his own 15. Bounced it back there. Line drive. Siciliano looks at it, and it gets a West Virginia roll. Brother, does it get a roll. It's going to be down to the 1-yard line. What a performance by Bauman. 69 yards on the punt on a line drive with a terrific roll. Sort of like that long iron play of Jeff Bostic.
It's like an old song. When you're hot, you're hot. Everything's going well for you. Your offense is performing. Your defense has been smothering. Nate Terry and the special teams have given your offense great field position. You get a low snap. What does Bauman do? Scoops it up, kicks it 69 yards down to 1.
And Siciliano could have made the reception at about the 20-yard line and figured to let it bounce. And boy, what a roll it took from the 1-yard line. Play action, blitz. Edmonds throws, and looks like, yep, he did complete that pass to Gary Fauntleroy up to the 5-yard line.
Gary Stills and company tried to plant Brendan Edmonds in the back of the end zone. You talk about a dangerous pass. Edmonds has been guilty of this all afternoon. Starts with the pressure, though, folks. If you're a quarterback, you're holding that football, it draws the heat. You're talking about a tough catch, throwing into triple coverage. Ball should have probably been intercepted for a touchdown.
Sure enough, I was surprised that he got it in there from the 4. Sideline, and that was dropped by Steve Harper.
We have to wonder if you're Terry Shea, the second half, your team's down 31-0. This is not the same Brendan Edmonds we saw 2 weeks ago at when they were playing Boston College. Do they bring the quarterback of their future, the true freshman, Mike McMahon, back into the lineup and give him a chance to lead this team?
There's a look at McMahon. Undoubtedly, we'll see him second half. Edmonds, slant, one-hand attempt. And nothing doing up at the 25-yard line by Bill Powell, number 80.
We talked about the third down woes of this offense. For the day, 0 for 9. Ball is on his hands. Powell has an opportunity to make the catch, can't do it. West Virginia still has time to put points on the board. They've got 3 timeouts left, 41 seconds to go.
Sure do. And now, this time, last time Slovin punted, he was in the middle of the end zone. He's got very little room for error, like maybe a couple of inches. The back of the end zone. Terry standing at his own 44. Good snap. Line drive. Kick, Terry at the 35. Can't figure out which way he wants to go. Now sets it up. He's got a wall knocked out of bounds. Knocked it out of his hands. Wingate, number 44, did it at the 21-yard line. So the Mountaineers very much in scoring position here with 29 seconds to go.
Boy, their second-year linebacker, K.C. Schiller's got a great block. It's one of those that you love as if you're covering a punt, returning a punt. This is the kind of block you like, blindside. Absolutely destroyed the left side of the return. Great block by Schiller.
And that's from better field position than this, starting at the Rutgers 20. This after a 69-yard punt by Bauman. Put Rutgers at the 1-yard line. Flanker screen. Gets it to Foreman. He's inside the 20. Clock running. And West Virginia calls the first of its 3 times out.
Like West Virginia with a timeout. charge West Virginia with its first called timeout.
So just a gain of 3 on that play.
And you have to question that play. Going into the middle of the field, throw the ball in the end zone, throw it to the sideline. Don't use your timeouts and try and stop the clock.
Mark Bulger talking things over with head coach Don Nalen. Now let's take a look at our NTB Students of the Game, brought to you by NTB, National Tire and Battery, where everything you want, nothing you expect. Reggie Funderburk, he is sorely missed by the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Out with a hand injury, should be back in a couple of weeks. And Eric DeGros, both of these young men, model citizens, model students, outstanding grade point averages also. We salute Reggie and Eric as our students of the game. When play resumes, we're looking at a 2nd down and 6. Ball's at the 17-yard line. Kari Mott, number 25, is the lone setback for West Virginia. Blitz backside, Bulger, down he goes, loose ball. And Rutgers takes over at the 29-yard line. Strohmeyer really unloaded on Mark Bulger. 2nd time he got blindsided.
Strohmeyer coming in. The thing that surprises me about this one, you know, Bulger looking nothing but to the left of his field. Look at that shot. Snapped his head. You know what? You talked about Bulger early. You know, offensive coordinator, Simmerell talking about the skinny kid. Looks like he might have injured his hand. Took a shot there.
It's the 2nd time he absolutely got walloped on a blindside blitz. Bang.
We've talked about it before. When you're holding that football, you can find the crowd.
Edmonds. Screen to Crooks. Couple of blockers. And he gets across the 30. He drops the ball. But they said it was down. He was down. So Nate Terry will not have a scoring opportunity. And that'll do it for the first half, and not too soon for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. West Virginia 31-0 here at halftime. And when we come back, John Sanders will have the National Car Rental halftime report for you here on the Big East Football Conference Game of the Week. Today's Big East telecast is brought to you by Gulf. Since 1901, a name you know, a name you can trust. Prestone Antifreeze, protect your car in the Prestone zone. And by the new Dodge, it's about change. First half, all West Virginia here from Morgantown. 31-0 Mountaineers over the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Dave Sims and Jeff Bosnick with you. And tell you what, one play looms in my mind. It may not have changed the outcome of the first half, but the 4th and 17 that Terry Shea and Rutgers goes for, they don't get it, and it sets up West Virginia in great field position.
Could have punted the football, put them back deep. They chose to go for it on 4th and 17. Not only that, their quarterback got hit, you know, intentional grounding. You know, West Virginia takes the ball at the, you know, their own 49-yard line. Big play.
Take a look at the first half highlights, and Amos Zeraway, as we speak of that 4th and 17, here's the big play that he broke coming out of that play.
Zeraway with a big half, 12 carries, 96 yards, and a touchdown. Big run right here. 1 reception for 18 yards. Are we finished seeing him for the game? Probably.
Yes, indeed. And a great fake to Zeraway to the tight end Beck for the touchdown. Made it look easy.
Their offense, their defense, and their special teams all been clicking. If you talk about one word, dominance. You know, Zeraway wanted to come into this game, put up some big numbers. Rutgers shut him down last year. Big half for him.
Offensive line, got to give them a lot of credit too. Bulger here with a good-looking throw. Ivy on the out and up.
When you can throw the football, you can run the ball. They're doing a great job of both of them.
And Ivy ran a terrific route, and then Bulger on this keeper here takes it in for the score. We're at halftime, 31-0 West Virginia. Let's go down to the sideline now. John Sanders has Terry Shea.
Coach Nealon said they put together a good half in the second half against Miami, did the Mountaineers. They put together a pretty good half against you in the first half, didn't they?
They sure did. They're a big, strong team right now, and we're obviously trying to find ways to even move the football on third down. So it's in their control right now. We just got to go out, and hopefully we can tackle and execute and see how the second half unfolds for us.
Go get them, Coach.
Thank you very much.
All right, John, thank you very much. And Terry Shea talking about insisting on some basics, maybe to get his ball club a couple of good moments here in the second half. First half stats, not good. As you mentioned, the word dominant is the word you look for.
If you look for dominance, that's exactly what you see. 271 yards of total offense to 69. You look at third down. Both teams are bad. Rutgers coming in, converting 21% of their third downs. This afternoon in the first half, 0 for 9. You can't win football games like that.
As we look at the other stats, the penalties, not too large on the scene there. 2 for 19 for Rutgers, 4 for 31 for the Mountaineers. Mark Bulger, outstanding in the first half. Made some good throws. He also took a couple of hits. You see his right wrist is being iced down. He was the victim of 2 backside blitzes. Strohmeyer got him on one, and Wingate got him on the other. And both of those, he was totally depleted and knocked down. And doubtful that we will see him in the second half. That number 2 quarterback for the Mountaineers, Jajuan Sider, may be looking at his first action of the year.
Both of these football teams have different missions the second half. Rutgers wants to win the second half. West Virginia, you talk about killer instinct. Well, I think this game's pretty much in hand. They'd like to get out of this football game without getting anybody else injured.
That's right. Bulger with the wrist. Zaraway, we probably will not see him again. But certainly there's no urgency to see him. Taylor kicking off. Line drive really gets into this one. Fletcher, 9 yards deep, sets it down there. Let's go down to John Sanders for an injury update.
Well, the injury update is on Bulger. He has a bruise on the throwing hand, the back of it. You were exactly right on that hit. They will go to the number 2 quarterback because they can, and they don't need to put him out there right away. So you will probably not see him the rest of the day.
All right, John, thank you very much. And Bulger will nurse that injury, and we've got a new quarterback for the Scarlet Knights, and that is Mike McMahon, freshman out of Wexford, Pennsylvania, went to North Allegheny High School. He's got a nice arm. Zips it out there. And taken by Bill Powell. We like McMahon when we saw him a couple of weeks ago against Boston College.
Big kid, and you're talking about a guy that can throw a frozen rope. He has got a strong arm. The big thing right now, he has no experience. This is his opportunity, to get his feet wet, cut his teeth a little bit. Unfortunately, it's against a very good defensive football team in West Virginia.
Well, his first throw is good for first down up to the 32-yard line. Rutgers was not able to run the ball, and it continues here in the second half. That is Gary Stills. Wow. He just destroyed that play.
Chris Hutton, the tight end, basically known for his wide receiving abilities. Stills just drives Hutton back into the backfield 5 yards. He says, you know what? I think I'll find the running back. Why don't we just, 7-yard loss. How's that? This guy is a real football player, ladies and gentlemen.
6'2", 235, a junior out of Trenton, New Jersey, went to Valley Forge Military Academy.
And had surgery 7 days ago.
Is ready to play. McMahon. Time. Throws. And completes it up to the 32-yard line to number 83, Chris Hutton. Pickup of 8.
The thing you like about McMahon, big quarterback, he throws the ball where a college quarterback should. Nice tight spiral, under control. He's definitely the future for this Rutgers offense.
3rd and 11. Ball's at the 32 for Rutgers. 59 seconds into the third quarter. McMahon with time. Got a man over the middle. And they run him out of of bounds, Andy Holland. That will be short of a first down. Got it to the 39. That was a curious pattern when you needed 11 yards.
You would think the play selection would take it at least to the first down marker. This team is 0 for 10 on third down.
Picked up 5 on that. 4th and 4. Nate Terry probably had enough yardage that some guys don't have a career. He's had it in the first half. Slogan to punt again. They go after it. High kick, Terry, fair catch at the 28. So West Virginia, its first possession of the second half coming your way when we return to Morgantown. It's the Mountaineers leading the Scarlet Knights 31-zip. Welcome back, everybody. Dave Sims, Jeff Bostic, and John Sanders with you from Morgantown, West Virginia. 31-0 West Virginia, and we get our first look at Jajuan Sider, the new quarterback for the Mountaineers. Mark Bulger out of the game, bruised right hand. And pitch it to Zaraway, who's in the game. Amos Zaraway gets it across the 30. Pick up of about 2.
Somewhat surprised to still see Zaraway back in the lineup for the second half game. It's, certainly out of hand, 31-0.
Sider, as you see, out of Belle Glade, Florida, went to Glade Central. A strong arm. Gets a mop-up last year against Rutgers in his only appearance last year. Honorable mention All-State down in Florida. Florida, great recruiting ground for Don Newland and Kemper. Sider, boy, all day. Underneath, got a man, and that's Foreman. And Foreman picks up the first down.
It's offensive line for West Virginia. Not only able to open the holes for Zaraway and company, their quarterback has had a lot of time. A couple of times Bulger's been hit. It's with the blitz. Play fake, we've talked about it earlier. Look at the linebackers. No underneath coverage. Foreman continues to add to his Big East lead in receptions.
13 yards on the carry to the 43-yard line. They bring the blitz, quick look, complete to Pat Green. He got drilled in the back at the Rutgers 48-yard line. He took one whale of a pop by number 2, Norris Crawford. Crawford getting up a lot more slowly than Green. He's out. He's hurt. First catch of the day for Green. Picks up 9.
Crawford is holding his shoulder. Anybody that's played football, looks like a little burner. Little shot down his shoulder. Quick throw. Great catch by Green. Great collision by Crawford. You saw his head get turned a little bit to the side. Yeah, that's probably a little burner. You really can't see Crawford's head. Gets torqued a little bit to the left, and you can see right now that right arm flying up in the air. Probably pinched a nerve in his neck. Yeah, he's pointing to that neck.
Those things do hurt. Well, we've got some time here, early third quarter, to take a look at our Big East players of the week. For their performances last weekend, Amos Zaraway, the guy we're watching today, just murdered Miami. 206 yards rushing, career high. Offensive player of the week, an easy selection there. For the young man from Long Island, Henry Slay, the defensive player of the week. 3 sacks, including one very important one, about 4 minutes and change left, that helped put the game away for the Mountaineers, ending of the last Miami threat. And special teams, Josh Boys of Temple averaged 41 yards a punt in the loss to Maryland. That was at Franklin Field. 24-21 Maryland over Temple last week. So Norris Crawford, the senior from Hialeah, Florida, most improved defensive player during this past spring. A little woozy.
Talking about the leader of that Rutgers defense, Brian Sheridan. He's averaging about 14 tackles per game. You think the West Virginia offensive line didn't do a number? Held Sheridan to 2 tackles in the first half.
Made sure they knew where he was. So 31-0. West Virginia. WVU's done a good job passing the ball, 211 yards to 6 different receivers. Bolter with 190 yards and passing, and Sider, this is first possession, got 21 yards passing. First time today, the big fullback, and that's a great effort by Leroy White. 6'1", 240, a senior out of Washington, D.C.'s Archbishop Carroll High School, as well as Valley Forge Military Academy. Good for first down for the Mountaineers.
And he's as shocked as anybody. Zeraway carries the ball the entire time. You've got to give it to Leroy White occasionally. The guy that does all the dirty work, the blocking, give him the football. You're talking about a guy put together. We were standing beside this young man yesterday. You're talking about power pack, and he spent some time in the weight room. About a 450-pound bencher.
Goodness gracious. 10th first down for the Mountaineers. Give it to him again. Barely gets back to the line of scrimmage, does White.
And that's a sad thing about a fullback. You know, Leroy White, he has to go up there and be his own blocker. Zeraway with a play fake. You know, he's running toward the sideline. And, you know, when they flip it around, Zeraway's carrying the football, Leroy's blocking. He knows his role. He enjoys his role.
That's the important thing. Fosters good team chemistry. The offensive coordinator knows he doesn't have to worry about a head case. Try to reward you every now and then.
And you know what? Look, they're going to line him up as a tight end. You know, great job of moving him around.
Now put him in motion. Zeraway, fake, deep ball. Ivy's there, and they overthrow him. Ivy smoked the corner once again. Gil Ross covering on the play.
The Sider had time. Aaron Brady applying the pressure. Certainly Ivy was behind the secondary. Had beaten Gil Ross. Opportunity for a big touchdown. Just got a report from the sideline. Crawford, who was injured a couple plays ago, exactly what we suspected, a little burner. Wouldn't be surprised to see him back in the lineup.
3rd down and 10. Screen pass. Get it to Zeraway. Got the first down and more. They say stepped out of bounds. They say stepped out of bounds at the 26-yard line. First down, West Virginia.
As lopsided as this score is, 31-0 West Virginia, this is the first 3rd down conversion by either team. If you want to get a first down, who do you get the ball to? Try number 20. Pretty good choice. Great job of making yards after the catch. I'll tell you what, this guy would be exciting in a 2-yard run.
There's no question. And the thing that's amazing, when he makes a cut, it's at full speed.
He's one of those backs that can make a cut on the dime and leave change.
No doubt. Charles Woolridge just went off the field for Rutgers. A look at that Rutgers front. 11th first down for West Virginia. 8 of them by the pass. First down play from the 26. Pat Green in motion. So counter. Zeraway. Good-looking 3-yard run. Yep. Looks like he got mugged around the face mask, and Mountaineer fans didn't take kindly to that. Sheridan had him wrapped up.
Sheridan had him wrapped up. The big right tackle, Sam Austin. Look at this block on Aaron Brady. Drives him out of the picture and under the West Virginia bench. There's a little face mask there, yeah.
Zeraway's got to be pleased with his numbers. He's also the 4th biggest back to rush for 100 yards against Rutgers this year. Zeraway today at 14 for 103 and a touchdown. Second down play. Sider being chased. Can't get out of the grasp of number 56. That's Wayne Hampton. Good job by Hampton.
You know what? Most of these quarterbacks for West Virginia, very mobile. I'll tell you what, Wayne Hampton, number 56 for the Rutgers defense, shows you he's got some wheels also. 6'4", 255-pound sophomore. Watch this guy, 255 pounds. Remember that. Runs a 4.7, 4.740 for a big guy.
Good angle, too. 3rd and long. Ball's back at the 27. Under 10 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Sider. Barely gets back to the line of scrimmage again. Good coverage, good pressure by Rutgers. Brian Sheridan in on the tackle.
You know, you wonder what you do at halftime. If you're Terry Shea, your team has been totally dominated the first half. He turns to leaders like Brian Sheridan. You know, guys, we're way down. We're going to finish this game. You know, we're going to do our part. We're going to win the second half.
44-yard field goal attempt. If he makes it, it'll be his 2nd field goal of the day. Taylor hit the upright. Goes through. Oh, baby. A Mountaineer kind of day from 44 yards out. $9:15 to go, 3rd quarter. It's West Virginia 34, Rutgers nothing. Back to Morgantown in a moment. Well, she's cheered home 34 points. Still got plenty of time to go here at Morgantown.
I'm not sure she did all 34. She probably had some help from the other cheerleaders.
How about this kick by Taylor?
You know, it's one of those kicks. It's like a 6-foot putt. You hit a good putt, but you know, hit the cup. It rolls around to the back. Oh, he falls in. Yeah, I got away with one there.
That's exactly right.
You know, when it's going good for you, the ball, clink, just falls right over the crossbar. What a great job.
Drew it back in.
Yeah.
Taylor to kick off his 2nd field goal of the afternoon, earlier from 40 yards out. Cecilia and make that Fletcher at the top of the screen, deep to receive for Rutgers. Taylor got into this one big time, and Fletcher will down it right there. He's done a good job with the kickoffs. Let's go down to the field and John Sanders.
Well, at halftime there was a special presentation, Dave, because behind me you see the much cherished Sudler Trophy that goes to the outstanding college marching band in the nation, and it has been won by the pride of West Virginia, the Mountaineer Marching Band, and we congratulate them on a great job. David?
The Sudler Trophy, equivalent to the Heisman Trophy when you're talking about marching bands. That is a fabulous honor. With 9:09 to go, Rutgers tries the middle again, and one more time, nowhere to go. And that has been a tough playpen there.
You talked to Steve Dunlap yesterday. 1996, this West Virginia defense was #1 in the nation. Total defense, points allowed. And at the start of the season, he said this defense is just as good. The only difference, experience. They're getting their experience today.
They are rugged. They are athletic. Everything you'd want.
They are physical.
McMahon, little delay. Big run. Best run of the day for Rutgers. Out to the 42-yard line. Jermaine Robinson broke one for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Sensabaugh finally brought him down.
Robinson, a big running back, 6'1", 210. Good job by the offensive line. Good job by Diggs with the block up front. Something positive to happen to this Rutgers football. Probably the best offensive play all day long.
No doubt about it. 21 yards on the carry by Jermaine Robinson, a junior out of Santa Cruz, Pennsylvania. McMahon, the freshman quarterback. Quick drop, sideline ball. And incomplete, no flag. Tried to get it to Chris Hutton, number 83. Bring up a 2nd down. Other scores, back and forth they go. Temple leading at the Vet in Philly over Pittsburgh. Florida State blowing out Miami. Canes can't even get on the board. Virginia Tech trying to hold off Miami of Ohio. The Cuse rebounding nicely. Penn State in its Big Ten opener. Michigan romping Auburn by 1 over South Carolina, and Michigan State killing Minnesota. Minnesota lost a high-scoring game last week at home to Houston. Robinson, another push, gets up to the 45 this time, picks up 3.
You know, Dave, when you get a game that gets out of hand early, 31-0 at the half, currently 34-0, that defense wants to preserve that goose egg. They're going to be playing intently. And some of the, habits of the human being is to relax. Right now the Rutgers team has got a stiff uphill challenge. Be careful.
Yes,
go full out, or this is an opportunity to get hurt.
And that defense, that's a lot of inspiration. Second and third teamers, if they get an opportunity, they don't want to hear it from the first team. McMahon underneath, not close to Chris Hutton.
Still looking for their first third down conversion of the afternoon.
On third down conversion, 0 for 11 for the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers.
You're talking about a guy that's been getting a workout today. Jared Slovin on for his 9th punt of the afternoon. We have 7 minutes and 13 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Terry's been pretty active returning. 54, 1 for 28. Slovan got one. Terry to the 15. Almost kept his balance. Had he kept his balance there, he had a lot of room to run. 7:01 to go, third period. West Virginia with a 34-0 lead over Rutgers here in Morgantown. We return right after this. Right now for West Virginia, it's all about preserving that shutout. You see Steve Dunlap going over situations with his group. We're at Mountaineer Field in Morgantown, West Virginia, with Paul Carlson producing, Jim Edmonds directing, Dave Sims, Jeff Bostic, and John Sanders with you. And the Big East crew, some roster in the low. Boy, a lot of movement there. The right guard moved. Ryan Pecanis.
Prior to the snap. False start. Offense. 5 yards. Still first down.
These aren't the type of penalties you typically see from a pre-med student. Pecanis, undoubtedly the most consistent offensive lineman for West Virginia, got a little bit antsy. Rutgers showing a blitz. He was ready to go. He was ready to play football.
On the 10-yard line. And here's the backup tailback Curtis Keaton with the carry. Keaton had a drop earlier in a situation where he was wide open in the flat. This time he got a chance to carry the ball. His numbers to this point this season. He's out of Beechcroft High School, Columbus, Ohio. Business and economics major.
And if you remember that West Virginia offensive line, this is a type of game you like right now. Offensively, you're going to run the ball, pound it at them. They can really lay their ears back.
Keep it basic and let's go. Nice sideline ball up to about the 21-yard line to Pat Green. Dwayne Sider. Check that to number 80. That's Chris Osagata. Penalty flag on the play. And it's against West Virginia.
Great job by Sider in the pocket. Play action. Showing that arm. We talked about his arm earlier. Great job of getting the ball out to the sideline. We got a face mask against West Virginia.
Personal foul. Face mask. Offense. This to the goal. Repeat, second down.
Don Nalen probably wondering how the heck we get a face mask call at this point in the game and this point of the field.
Wouldn't it be nice if the officials would tell us the number? I mean, they did it when I was in the pros. Your family's sitting at home. If you're an offensive lineman, the only thing you could do was hold, okay? I was a center. I couldn't be offsides.
That's one less thing you need to worry about. Up across the 10 to about the 12-yard line. Mark Plants, number 46, the backup fullback, sophomore out of South Charleston, West Virginia.
Number 11 here in Brady.
So he advances the ball to the 14-yard line.
3rd and 12. Ball on the 13.
Well, if you're Jadwan Sider getting this much playing time, boy, this is a bonus and a half. You're up big. Starting quarterback has a bruise on his right hand. No need to play him again. Talking about Mike Bolton. Here's Sider. Time. Man over the middle. A little bit too high. Intended for Carlos Acegueda.
And this is an opportunity for Sider not only to get some experience, but to prove to the coaching staff, you know, I am your backup. I'm the guy you can go to if something happens down the road to Bolger. And it gives him some more experience. And he had a missed opportunity right there, though. Got a strong arm, though.
Yes, he does. Nice zip on the ball. 3 of 5, 35 yards. Ballman staying a couple of yards deep in his end zone with a big roll. They had a 69-yard punt his last time out. Oh, he gets a good one. At the 42-yard line is Garrett Shea. And then hammered.
Number 9.
Check that. That was Reggie Stevens.
Returns the punt. Flag on the play.
Penalty flag.
Stop was made by number 41.
See what's going on.
Personal foul. Face mask. On the kickers. 15 yards. Into the run. First down.
Well, that's 2 face mask penalties against the Mountaineers. And there it is right there.
You know, as much grief as these guys in the black and white shirts take, typically they do a pretty good job. We saw one instance where a call was reversed earlier in the game. They try and do what they're paid for, to make the calls the right way.
So good field position for Rutgers as they try to take that goose egg off the board, and nothing doing with the fullback going up the middle. First time we've seen Chris Washington on the carry.
You look at this West Virginia team, and I think one aspect of this team that has probably improved the most since 1996 is the play of their special teams. Certainly it was a big negative portion of their team in 96. Cost them the Miami game, probably cost them the Syracuse game. Much improved on special teams.
West Virginia showing blitz. They bring it. McMahon under pressure. Throws it up. That's going to be 6. That is going to be a touchdown for Bruce Sensabaugh.
Mike McMahon's pass was intercepted by number 19, Bruce Sensabaugh.
Given name Glenwood out of Norton, Virginia.
Talk about a freshman mistake. McMahon pressured. Sensabaugh hit him right between the 1 and the 9. This is an easy touchdown. We talked about the young quarterback gaining experience. This is where he learns.
64 yards on the interception return. The extra point is good. 4:04 to play. Third quarter, it's 41-zip West Virginia. Steve Lippy really had the fabulous pressure, and McMahon threw it up. Probably should have eaten it or thrown it away.
Whether it be McMahon, Edmonds, the Rutgers quarterbacks have been under immense pressure the entire afternoon. When you can do that with your front four, bringing a linebacker occasionally, good things happen. And the ones that benefit most are the guys in the secondary, picking those balls off. And, you gotta love it when an entire crowd is yelling your name. Boom.
What's up, baby? What's up, Rock? Blocked the punt against Rutgers in 1996.
Terry Shea is sitting on that sideline asking himself, why did they put an artificial surface in here If it were grass and dirt, I could dig a hole and get out of here.
You bet. Not a heck of a lot you can say right now. Jay Taylor, he's been pretty busy too. Done a lot of kickoffs. Taylor to kick off. Fletcher, and he keeps it right there. 41-0 West Virginia. Taylor has done a very good job with his kickoffs today. .358 to go. Third period, McMahon will get a chance to try to direct this offense again. He's got Fauntleroy and Robinson. First down throw. And that's complete. Gets it to Stephen Harper up to the 27-yard line. Call it the 26-yard line.
If you're Rutgers right now, you can't worry about the score. You have to try and worry about improving as a football team. Coming into this game, they knew they were outmanned. West Virginia is a good football team. Rutgers is a team that's striving for some type of consistency. Unfortunately, this afternoon in Morgantown, they haven't found it.
No, they have not. 3:53 and counting here in the third quarter. Robinson's up close to first down. Make that Fauntleroy. Is up close to a first down yardage. Gary, a junior in Swedesboro, New Jersey. 6 foot, 245. Third down and it's like about 6 inches. Got a whistle down on the field.
West Virginia has just been given a sideline warning.
I have to ask myself, when the score is 41-0, do the gentlemen on the field calling the game not have anything better to do than look on the sideline and warn about players being too close?
McMahon keeps it, gets across the 30, picks up the first down, first conversion of the day.
Maybe what they could do is take a couple of the defenders off the field, you know? Add to the sideline woes. I don't know. Strange call with 41-0 late in the third quarter.
First time Rutgers has converted a third down. It's 1 for 12 on the day. And again, the third quarter woes continue for the Scarlet Knights. West Virginia showing blitz again. They bring it. Run the draw. Robinson, couple of yards left side. Maybe to the 32. At this point, for West Virginia, you want to try to get just about anybody who's eligible in the game. You want to get them in there. Plus, think about preserving a shutout.
You want to preserve the shutout. And if you're Rutgers, you know, you may not admit this, but you're looking at that scoreboard and hoping that that clock will run as fast as it can.
Indeed. Second down and 8. From the 32. McMahon, blitz, down he goes. The 22. Number 64 is right there, Mike Enoch. Check that, number 54, Charlton Forbes.
Simply splits the gap between the center and the guard. Young man was born in Jamaica. He's been active all afternoon. I don't know what that is.
Old Harbor, Jamaica.
He looks like a nose tackle. You know, big body.
6 foot 280. And they say, what, his best sport could be cricket? third and a long 16. Under a minute and a half to go, third period. McMahon chased by Baum. Gets it to Diggs to the 32, but it'll still be fourth and long for Rutgers.
And obviously West Virginia has gone to many of the reserves and backups. You talk about a system. You talk about the defensive coordinator, Steve Dunlap. All of these guys are buying into the program. We're going to run to the football. We're going to find the football. We're going to seek and destroy. It's ingrained, and it starts with the leaders. Thornton, Slade, Steele. They watch these guys and how they play, and they learn from them.
Slovan on the punt one more time. Terry deep to receive. Terry gets a West Virginia bounce and is down at the 30-yard line. Got a good one in Philadelphia. 14-10 Temple. Florida State just pounding Miami. Boy, you talk about some bragging rights there. Hokies up by 3 at the half. Syracuse rolling on East Carolina. Ditto Penn State at Illinois. Again, Michigan big, and Auburn holding off South Carolina. And Michigan State with the laugher at home at East Lansing. 37 yards on the punt. West Virginia takes over at its own 30. Dwan Sider. And it may have taken too much time.
Prior to the snap. Ball start. Offense. Still first down.
Final 28 seconds of the third quarter. So it'll be 1st and 15 for Jawan Sider. And we'll give it to his backup tailback. That's Curtis Keaton. Keaton fighting hard, gets it across the 30.
West Virginia and Don Nehlen probably ecstatic about the way their football team has performed. I'll guarantee you, when they start looking at the film and breaking this game down, one thing that he won't be happy with are the number of penalties that this West Virginia team has picked up today.
Roger Wingate, the injured Rutgers Scarlet Knight, on the field. Tell you what, Don's not going to have a whole lot to complain about. That's one factor.
Well, you know what? Coaches never like, to go in there and tell everybody how great they are.
Right.
There's going to be something he's going to pick out of that thing. And you're talking about a class individual, the president of the American Football Coaches Association. I'll guarantee you, as respected as any college football coach in this nation.
Don Nehlen, no doubt about it. So Wingate hurting on the field. Tend to him. Hopefully he'll be okay. He looks, he's woozy. Take a look at this play, Jack.
Well, you'll see him coming in from the left side of your screen. Right there, helmet to helmet. Right there. One of his teammates falls on his left knee. Gives a little torque. The only thing about this AstroTurf, once you get your foot planted in this stuff, you can't move it. And the severity of some of these things are magnified by the AstroTurf.
Time has run out here on the third quarter here in Morgantown, West Virginia. Mountaineers 41-0 over the Rutgers Scarlet Knights on a beautiful day for football. Back everybody to Morgantown, West Virginia, 41-0 Mountaineers as Curtis Keaton bounds over the right side. First play of the fourth quarter. Chris Sabula makes the tackle for Rutgers number 93. Keaton will take a rest. If you're just joining us, it's been all West Virginia. 41-0. Mark Bulger the starting quarterback for West Virginia. Out of the game, obviously, because of the score, but also because of the bruised right hand. Sider throwing and completing. Good for a first down to the 42-yard line. That's to Jerry Porter. And Porter is a backup quarterback / wide receiver. And Rutgers, the third quarter, is not a pretty one at all. Major disaster all year, outscored 82-zip. Today, 10-0 by West Virginia.
And this must be a mental thing. Certainly, 4 games into the season and not scored in the third quarter.
Sider with the fake, got a man running down the sideline, and incomplete. He underthrew Carlos Acegueda and got a penalty flag on the play. Acegueda was out there. Sider got a little bit too much air under that one. You see you're getting blown out 41-0. What do you, if you're on the other sideline, what are you thinking?
15 yards, line of scrimmage, automatic first down.
You know, there are
do you get upset, with the team going deep on you like that?
Well, I don't think you get, these are backup guys. These guys that are practicing all the time. We watch the replay. The ball is underthrown. That's what causes the interference. Stevens covering pretty well. When Acegueda slows down, you see it right there. There's a little bit of contact. Stevens bumping him. If you want to credit somebody with this interference call, credit your quarterback for underthrowing the football.
From the 42.
To get back to that thought, Dave, there are two really mindsets.
All right, Rutgers would have called timeout.
They only had 10 players on the field, and Rutgers has to call a timeout. Jeff, we'll get to your point when we get back here to Morgantown. 13:51 to go. West Virginia, big. Quarter numbers from the third quarter, Jeff Bostic.
Somewhat lopsided. 331 yards of total yards for West Virginia, 124 for Rutgers. The big one, and I stressed it earlier, penalties. 8 penalties for 63 yards for West Virginia. Don Nealon will address that next week, I'm sure.
Run inside with the fullback. Mark Plants tries to step over a couple of guys. Mark Plants, number 46, second carry of the day. As you look at Juwan Sider. Plants, a USA Today Honorable Mention All-American, 95 Rookie of the Year for his work on the scout team here at West Virginia. It's 2nd and 7. Ball at the 38-yard line. Sider. Sideline ball. And incomplete, no flag. Trying to get it to Carlos Acegueda.
Once again, Reggie Stevens seems to be the person that they want to pick on in that secondary. Somewhat surprised by the West Virginia calls on offense. 41-0 lead. Why don't you run the ball, get this thing over with, and not have any players hurt? Stevens, a lot of bumping downfield. May have gotten away with an interference right there.
They have worked Reggie Stevens. From the gun, Sider. Zipped it over the middle, right through the hands of number 22, David Richardson. So Richardson can't make the catch.
Number 3, Eugene Black, defending.
Now some question as to what they're going to do. And the unit comes off the field. Sider wants to complete some long balls. He's upset with himself. And as he leaves the field with 13:01 to go on a 4th and 7 at the 38. We're going to let the play clock run down. 5, 4, 2, 1. So you'll get a delay of game against West Virginia.
Right snap. Delay of game. Offense.
It's like Don Nealon wanted to get some kind of message across. And he sends the punt team onto the field. Let's see if Brian Bauman can work on his coffin corner.
Delay game. 5 yards. Offense. Still fourth down.
Bauman standing in his own 42. So he's got a little room to work with. Bauman angling, sideline left. Got the bounce. And down at the 2-yard line. Number 4 was there, Charles Fisher. Well done. As if Rutgers didn't have enough problems. Timeout on the field. 12:53 to go in the ball game. West Virginia here on homecoming day leads at 41-0. 41-0 West Virginia over Rutgers. Early stages, fourth quarter. And the Scarlet Knights giving thumbs up, but not much to be happy about. Now it's time for our First Plus financial game summary. Amos Zaraway was intent on putting some numbers up against Rutgers this year, and he did. 103 yards after getting just 49 last year. Rutgers has not been able to run the ball at all, and third downs today. Both teams a combined 3 of 22. And talk about a downside note. Rutgers starts from its own 1. McMahon through the hands of the receiver. That's number 20, Delrico Fletcher.
You know, you have days like this in football where nothing seems to go right. You can't predict it. Talking to Terry Shea, I mean, they were off last week, a long time to prepare for this game. Had great work in practice last week. Come in here and simply do not perform the way your football team should.
Then Thursday night on ESPN, Rutgers has Syracuse, and Syracuse just a touch fired up after their bad start this year. 2nd and 10 from the 1. McMahon, this time a reception to number 80, Bill Powell. First down Rutgers up to the 19-yard line. So a lot of second stringers in the game for West Virginia on defense.
And you know, it's an opportunity for both sides of this ball to get better. Rutgers can get better offensively. For some of these guys from West Virginia, it's an opportunity to show the coaching staff they can play, you know, big-time college football.
Here's a note for you. Stills, Gary Stills is still in there playing at the right defensive end. You never know, he's got the bad hand, and there he is with the sack. Oh, brother.
Some guys are just football players. And I'm firmly convinced you could take Gary Stills, take the helmet, take the shoulder pads off. This guy could play in just a jersey. You know, nothing real special. Look at his feet. They never stop. Little spin move.
Took him right back to where he wanted to be.
He beats Kerry Ware. You know what? First game of the season. Did he have a big game? 4 sacks against Marshall.
2nd and 14. Rutgers at its own 15-yard line. McMahon, he's under pressure again. Hold the penalty flag on the play as that ball was well underthrown, and then McMahon took a lick. He took a real whack there from number 38. That's K.C. Schiller, a linebacker.
Everybody at Mountaineer Stadium saw the hold. Number 33, Joe Diggs. If you can't block Stills, hold him.
Holding. Offense. Refuse. 3rd down.
Let's go back. I'm not sure they described this correctly. This is not holding. This is what you see. You know, if you're in some major metropolitan city on the wrong side of town, this is a mugging. This is a Larry Mahan. Why don't we bring him down and lasso? But you know what? The quarterback appreciates that.
That's right, because he can still live and breathe right now. Ball at the 15, a 3rd and long for Rutgers. Johnson this time to the right side. To the corner. No, sir. Nate Terry, one of the starters in there, still in there, number 28. Brings him down. Nate Terry should get an Ironman award. He's making some plays, tackles, forcing the run, covering passes, and going back to return a kick now.
This guy should get an Ironman. Gary Stills, you can't say enough things about this young man. A very refreshing young man to sit down and talk to. I'll tell you what, he has got that love of the game in his eyes. He wasn't going to miss this game regardless.
Coach's dream, teammates' dream too. Slow band. Nice high kick. Terry at his 30. At the wall to the right. He found it. Got a crease. To the 40, inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Huge yardage on the day for Terry. Another fine punt return by West Virginia. Mountaineers lead at 41 zip. 10:34 to go in the ball game. We return to Morgantown in a moment. Today, 41-0 over Rutgers. 10:34 to go in the ball game from Morgantown, and that brings us to our play of the game, brought to you by Siemens. For leading-edge technologies in electronic and electrical engineering, depend on Siemens. We can do that. And that play, Mark Bulger to Corey Ivy, wide open on the out and up. Touchdown, West Virginia. Big play in the first half. Back to live action, Dwayne Sider, the number 2 quarterback, the junior out of Belgrade, Florida. I think he's anxious to hit a big one. He's been throwing some deep balls. Rutgers, 9 men in the box. And they give it to Curtis Keaton. Keaton upended, knocked out of bounds. The old Statue of Liberty play, boys.
We're reaching deep into our bag of tricks. Great job by Sider carrying out the ball fake. I don't know the last time I have seen this play executed in a game situation. Watch the pump. Up. Just in time. Getting pressure right there from the defense, number 49, Strohmeyer. You know what? You talked about what a hit. These guys that are backups, this is their opportunity to shine. Keaton with a big run.
First down, Mountaineers. Sider got a man on open, and the post pattern is too high to number 2, Jerry Porter, the quarterback / wide receiver.
Sider is going to record a touchdown pass today, even if we have to go in overtime.
Sheer dint of the volume of passes, he's going to hit one. Tell you what, though, I like his mechanics. Just a little bit too high, but you know, fakes the ball well, stands up, delivers it nicely. Time they give it to Keaton, try to bounce it outside, and not this time.
We talked about zero-way in the first half. Some things you don't coach. The ability to cut, turn. Fortunately for Keaton, he plays on the same team. He gets to watch this guy every day. But you know what? Like I said earlier, there are some things you can't teach. Keaton tried to do his best imitation of zero-way. He loses 3.
Be able to stop and start like that. And you're talking Barry Sanders, Amos Zerouay. Yeah, there's not a lot of people on that list.
And you know what? If you look at Zerouay, you look at a guy like Barry Sanders, their body is much the same. Zerouay's more powerful.
Yeah. Keaton 6 rushes, 20 yards. Under 9.5 to go. Sider got it complete to Porter this time. And he picked up a few extra yards. Nice forward lean. Gets it down to the 17-yard line. Going to be close to a first down. And Porter got laid out, slow to get up. When he stretched, he must have got hit. Let's see.
And you talk about a receiver turning a defensive back around. Watch Porter's move right here. Stevens, Great job of recovery. You're talking about some effort. Great job of reaching for the pylon. Very close to this first down.
Up 41-0. And Porter slow to get up. Boy, you hate to see anybody get injured at any time. Shin Black, number 3, with a pop there. More Big East college football action coming your way next Saturday at noon. Boston College at Virginia Tech. Should be a good matchup. We'll get to see Matt Hasselbeck, Ken Oxendine for Virginia Tech. Make sure you join us at 12 noon from Blacksburg, Virginia. Check your local listings. We hope to see you then. Don Nealon, he said of the Statue of Liberty play, he said it's not a trick play, it's a set play.
And you know what? They have a ritual around here every Friday in their walkthroughs. The way they end their walkthrough, Coach Nealon, you know, comes up with some type of play. And the defensive staff will tell you, if they don't score, they stay out there forever. And yesterday they ran like a rugby scrum. And Coach Nealon scores and spikes the football.
Yeah, right. Sider picks up the first down. Hey, he thought he was Tommy Frazier there. He thought his knee never went down. Got to remember, too, Don Nealon, outstanding quarterback at Bowling Green University.
And I think he's really contemplating maybe coming back and finishing his 5th-year senior, you know, eligibility. He was excited yesterday when he scores and spikes the football.
Good man, Don Nealon. His 18th year here at West Virginia, taking the Mountaineers to 10 bowl games. A quarterback and a punter at Bowling Green, graduated in '58. Sider under trouble, out of bounds. He throws it up. They're screaming face mask on the West Virginia sideline. What the heck was that Sider did when he was running out of bounds? Just threw it up in the air.
If I were on the Rutgers defense, I would be screaming a lateral.
Sure.
Unless the official had blown the play dead.
Good point.
You know, we've seen quarterbacks, young and old alike. Obviously, Sider with not much playing time. McMahon for the Rutgers team, back in the pocket. He never gets his feet set, rolling, getting the pressure by Strohmeyer. That is a lateral unless the play was blown dead.
Ball at the 25-yard line, 2nd and 20. Top of your screen goes David Richardson. Got one-on-one coverage out there. Pat Green in motion. Run it to Keith. Turns it up. Good job. Got a couple of good blocks as he fights his way to the 11-yard line. Curtis Keaton. Several good blocks on that play, Jeff.
And we're going deep into the depth charts right now. Their 3rd-string fullback, number 49, Anthony Green. He's leading this. We talk about leading by example. He's seen Leroy White get out in front. Can't quite see it, believe me. He had one of those blocks that the defender is tasting gunpowder right now.
That's right. And I like what Keaton did. Fullback got through the hole, follow him, right his hip. He'll take you where you need to go. 3rd down. Give the fullback the play, and he's going in for a touchdown. Anthony Green, 6'2", 240, gets a touchdown for the Mountaineers.
Guarantee you, Dan Simmerell watched the block, the last play. He said, you know what? Why don't we give Anthony the ball and see what he can do? Gets up in that hole going north and south, drags the Rutgers defenders into the end zone.
The junior out of Jersey City, New Jersey, Lincoln High School, scores against Rutgers.
Short timeout.
West Virginia, I believe, short one player. I wonder if it was Green. Have to call a timeout. 10 players on the field. That was a problem, but Anthony Green, redshirt sophomore,
starts with that offensive line. Very seldom used fullback in the running attack for West Virginia. We've talked about it all day. The offensive line, backups, reserves, starters, it doesn't matter. These guys are blocking for their running backs, rewarding their fullbacks for the way they block, getting the ball to the tight ends, You have to be very impressed if you're a West Virginia fan with the way Don Nehlen and his offensive staff have moved the ball around today.
I like what you said about Dan Simrell, the offensive coordinator. Reward the young man for a fabulous play the play before.
When you see a guy out there busting it, trying to make a block to spring your running back, you know, that's their job, yes. Let's give them a little, you know,
little taste.
Give them a little crumb. Drop them a crumb.
I think Mr. Green may tip his cap to Mr. Simrell after the game.
But the only problem is that, you know, Leroy White here, the senior, probably has the same number of carries as Green. There's some problem there. That's
right. Green's got a touchdown. 7:59 to go in the ball game. West Virginia 48-0 over Rutgers. Statman John Viverito's done a great job. And we look now at our Gulf drive. 8 plays, 38 yards, 2:35 off the clock. And Anthony Green, real good run from 10 yards out. The fullback scores for West Virginia. Jay Taylor to kick off. Another booming kick. 4 yards deep. Oh, he's going to bring it out this time to the 16-yard line. Delrico Fletcher with the return. So what? West Virginia up 48-0. Mike McMahon, the freshman out of North Allegheny High School, Wexford, PA, will continue his baptism of fire here in the Big East Conference. His most extensive playing time this year. See if they can get outside with Robinson. Number 19 came up to fill Sensabaugh. Sensabaugh with an interception return for a touchdown for the Mountaineers.
Dave, I'm not sure this is a baptism or a drowning.
Sensabaugh went 64 yards with an interception return in the third quarter. That is humbling as it can get in the world of college football. And prospects don't look real good for the remainder of the season for Rutgers either. Robinson got a chance to carry it. He advanced the ball. Good for first down.
Guarantee you that West Virginia defense right now, all the starters on the sideline, all the reserves in the game, have one concern. Keep that goose egg up on that board.
You bet. All second teamers in there now for West Virginia. Diggs to the outside. Diggs to daylight. First down, Rutgers to the 46. K.C. Schiller, number 38, hogtails him. Brings him down.
You wake up.
Obviously a case of too little too late. If you're Rutgers, you're looking for anything late in this football game to build on for next week. Something positive to happen to your football team.
They just rushed Charlton Forbes back into nose tackle for West Virginia.
They're not going to give this shutout. You know, this shutout's not going to leave. They're going to have to earn it.
Robinson 8 carries, 36 yards. Diggs 4 for 26. And this is Jackie Crooks. Haven't seen him in a while. Loose ball. So Rutgers at the 49-yard line. All second teamers in for West Virginia. Is a tough afternoon.
And you know what?
That bench.
The look on that bench says it all. Football is a tough game to play when you're winning. And when you're not enjoying any success, it becomes doubly more difficult to try and find the motivation each week to practice and play.
On the draw to Robinson. Good tackle. Couple of good tackles. Number 41 in on the play. That's Chris Edmonds, a linebacker. We are getting way into the depth chart.
That's one of the advantages of West Virginia playing at home. Expanded roster, probably 85 guys in uniform.
Oh, every bit.
I would be willing to bet almost every one of them have played today.
Try it in some way, shape, or form. 3rd and 7. Ball just on the Rutgers side of the field. McMahon, they run a game. Oh, almost picked off. Kerry, it's number 27, Kerry Severin, got his hands on the ball. And that'll bring on the Rutgers punt team.
Good job of Rutgers picking up the blitz. Man-to-man coverage. Number 86, Walter King. You talk about separation. Great coverage right there by Kerry Severin. The two most worked guys in today's game. Obviously the punter for Rutgers, Slovan, and Nate Terry.
Yes, indeed. And also, I'll give credit to the snapper, Jack McCunin. Goes into the end zone touchback. West Virginia will put it in play at its own 20-yard line. We've got 5:06 to play. West Virginia with a 48-0 lead over Rutgers. 5:06 to go. 4th quarter. Back to Morgantown after this. Today's Big East telecast has been brought to you by Golf. Since 1901, a name you know, a name you can trust. First Plus Financial. At First Plus, we're working first for you. And by Outback Steakhouse. For an Aussie good time over an awesome steak, get to Outback Steakhouse. Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right. Back here in Morgantown, everybody. Crowd filing out on homecoming day. Our time now to tribute our new Dodge player of the game, and congratulations to West Virginia's starting quarterback, Mark Bulger. His numbers impressive, 11 of 18, 190 on the yardage, 2 touchdowns, and took it in from 2 yards out on this play back in the 2nd quarter.
Young quarterback making only his 5th start. Offensive staff have always been impressed with his talents. What he has done thus far, though, he has earned the respect of his teammates and probably more specifically that offensive line that blocks for him.
Battling a bruised hand. Now, he got blitzed a couple of times and took a heck of a lick on the back of his right hand. Back up. Running back Kari Mott, 5'10", 200. Gets a chance to run. There's a final. Ron Dickerson wins his 2nd Big East Conference game. Florida State, they're loving that down in Tallahassee. Ooh, Virginia Tech loses. Syracuse pounding East Carolina. Penn State rolling at Illinois. Final, Michigan wins that one. Auburn pulling away from South Carolina. They were down in that game, and Michigan State, their shutout gone, but they're going to win today.
You have to feel good for Temple and Ron Dickerson. Remember last year's Pittsburgh game? Had a big lead with 8 minutes to go, wind up losing the game 53-52. The next day, seemingly is going to resign from the program, is talked back into it. And you know, those were 2 of the most improved teams in the Big East. Pittsburgh, obviously with Harris, their new head coach. Dickerson, we've seen him earlier this season. 2 quality running backs.
They pose some problems, Temple.
And you know, Ron Dickerson told us early in the season, you know, we're a much better football team, and you and I looked at each other and went, yeah, sure you are.
Yeah, right.
Well,
we believe him now.
We believe him now.
That's right, we're on 15th Street behind McGonigal Hall in Philly. Say, okay, coach. 1st and 10 at the 33. Mott barely back to the line of scrimmage. I want to thank our spotter, Brian Crane. Great job by him, as well as John Viverito, who we haven't seen in a couple of years. Married since we last saw him, doing our stats, keeping us up to speed here in the booth.
You know, while we're talking about the Big East, can you imagine what's going on down in Miami? Oh, the Canes losing 4 games in a row.
Miami 1-4 on the year. They just got splattered all over Tallahassee today. Mott cuts it back, picks up about 3 or 4. So Virginia Tech losing to Miami of Ohio out of the MAC. Very interesting. In the Big East, Virginia Tech 3-0, West Virginia and Temple 2-1, as well as Boston College. Syracuse 0-1, Miami 0-2, and Rutgers 0-3. Pittsburgh at 1-1. 3rd and 6 for the Mountaineers. Sider going to throw under pressure, gets away. Boy, that's amazing. That is amazing that he got back to the line of scrimmage.
I would have to believe in an earlier life, Sider was a matador. You're talking about a guy that's big, physical, 225 pounds, sheds the tackle of a defensive end.
Of Hampton.
You know, a mere 255-pound defensive end that runs a 4.7, gets rid of a couple of the linebackers, and gains positive yards.
Tough kid. Got a lot of action, a lot of time today. Under 3 to play. Mountaineers letting the clock run down. Play clock at 10. So Bauman and company in no hurry. Bauman's punt taken by Stevens and dragged down immediately. Dragged down immediately by Dave Lightcap, number 35. Timeout on the field here in Morgantown. West Virginia in control. And John Sanders on the sideline.
David, you're going to add injury to insult as far as this Rutgers team is concerned, because they have lost no fewer than 5 players this afternoon, and unfortunately all of them on the defensive side. Charles Woolridge is out, Brian Sheridan, Roger Wingate, Norris Crawford, Riley Jefferson, all with various ailments, and they are done.
That does not bode well. John, thank you. Rutgers will be hosting Syracuse, 8 o'clock on ESPN this coming Thursday. Get an update. Miami just scored again. Miami of Ohio, so they lead the Hokies by a touchdown in the 4th quarter. A 1 o'clock start down in Blacksburg.
That would be a huge upset.
You bet. And down goes McMahon. Number 43, Ryan Brady. He's out of Huntington, New York. This is high school MVP as a running back. Crowd reacting to Virginia Tech trailing by a touchdown. Chad Wable liking that one too.
Yeah, they'll have their chance to meet this Virginia Tech team in a couple of weeks. Ought to be a great matchup.
October 25 right here in Morgantown. That will be one heck of a game.
Mark your calendar.
Talk about a couple of groups of folks that don't like each other. McMahon, slant pattern to Fletcher, not close.
You know, John had mentioned it earlier, the defensive injuries that continue to pile up for this Temple team, this Rutgers team. And, you know, we saw the numbers early in the game. A team that was giving up 475 yards per game, 260 on the ground. Can't afford these type of injuries.
Not the 5 defensive players, no way. And with a quick turnaround week, that is murder.
You think Donovan McNabb and company aren't, you know, if they're licking their chops?
You bet. Especially the way they're pounding East Carolina today. Sloven, another punt. I tell you what, Sloven's going to earn some money at the in your old league. So he can get it up there. Nate Terry, a very active young man today. He got a chance to break this one. McKiernan had an angle. Sloven stops him again. Second time Sloven stopped Nate Terry. Jared Sloven, the punter, prevents further damage to Rutgers with 1:08 to go.
Not only has this young man had to punt, he's making tackles. You see West Virginia's upcoming schedule next week at Maryland, bye week. Then they play Virginia Tech, Syracuse, and a much improved Temple team after a bye week. and they finish up with Notre Dame and Pittsburgh.
That is warmly known as the backyard brawl. 36-yard return for Terry. He's got 6 returns at an average of 28 a pop.
I wonder who the Big East Special Teams Player of the Week for this week is.
And we salute Nick Terry. That's a fabulous performance. Rutgers, we mentioned, on Thursday with Syracuse, and then at Army, Pittsburgh, Temple, Wake Forest, which is an improved ball club, and at Miami.
You know, realistically, this Rutgers team could be looking at a 0 for 11 season.
No question. Final minute and change here from Morgantown. Another fullback running wild up the middle. That's Anthony Green again.
Green, the ball carrier. First down, West Virginia.
Mountaineers pick up another first down. Matt Bulger, I'm sure, hopefully his right hand is okay after suffering that injury late in the first half. A couple of blitzes. A bruise to the back of his right hand. Mountaineers a good-looking offensive ball club, even when you got the second and third teamers in. Another rumbling fullback type. That's Wesley Hours, 6'1", 250. They bring some big fullbacks to this place, don't they?
That's their 4th fullback for the day. And you talk about bruises, you know, along that Rutgers sideline, that defense, the coaching staff, there are some bruised egos and a lot of pride that has been bruised today.
Not only the short end of a 48-0, but the stats are probably going to be equally overwhelming. This should be the final play. Sider. Oh, he's a gutty guy. Look how strong he is. And there you have it. Don Nehlen rolls today. The Mountaineers improving to 4-1 overall, 2-1 in the Big East. Rutgers drops to 0-5, 0-3 in the Big East. 48-0 the final. For Jeff Bostic and John Sanders, I'm Dave Sims. See you next week from Blacksburg. Everybody have a good day from Morgantown. It's West Virginia, 48-0 over Rutgers.